RVing is the hot new trend. Everybody wants to RV. But as full-time RVers, we're here to warn you. It ain't all campfires and s'mores. So in this video, we're sharing the top 10 things we hate about RVing.
Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. I never listen, I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the dumb zone.
Here we are, show number 1 on an RV. We are on an RV.
You've done a bus before. I feel like doing some recreation.
Where, like outside or in a
To me,
something that moves?
it would be better if it were in a vehicle.
A vehicle,
Yeah,
a recreation.
recreational in this state.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you about that in a moment. I have a little story on that.
I bet you do.
We are currently in, so we've been traveling for a day plus. It's Monday. August something. August 5th. And I think we're in Milan, New Mexico. We're outside a Love's gas station, rest stop, truck stop. How do you term Love's?
That's a truck stop. Yeah.
And I'm finding why people love Love's.
It's nice.
It's pretty nice. Well, it's all levels. So compared to some other places we've stopped,
Okay, why do you like Love's?
clean bathroom. I'm now Jake. I'm now a guy who has to go to the bathroom on the road, and that is the number one criteria for me. If we're going to have a stop and you got to get gas somewhere and I have to buy some munchies and all that, well, if you have a clean bathroom, I'm going to go to your place.
Love's
so
is
I
solid.
Can see,
Always has been.
yeah.
Love's, Buc-ee's, Flying J, those are all.
I did not hit the little button on the way out of the bathroom.
I do now. You know what? Thumbs up green.
Because it has a green,
I rate
red,
the
and a
bathroom.
yellow. Did you see that?
We're rating bathrooms now?
Yeah, when you walk out, you're supposed to hit the button.
You know,
Like,
the first
rate
time I
the
saw that,
cleanliness.
first time I saw that was at Choctaw, and I was like, I like this. But like we were talking about last night, I'm never going to hit anything other than green, which is counterproductive for them because if it sucked, I should be telling them that.
Yeah,
Right.
you guys...
But I don't want to get the guy in trouble that
And
has to clean it.
here's the weird thing too: we didn't stop at Love's. We stopped at a gas station across the street, and Dan walked in and saw there was another guy pooping, and there was only one stall. So rather than just wait on that guy, which he was done 30 seconds later because I walked in, he walked
I didn't want to follow him.
3 minutes across the street
Yeah.
to use the other bathroom.
Well, I need my steps.
Yeah, sure, I got you. Yeah, we've got a case of diarrhea, Dan, on the trip already.
No, I don't...
I don't know that that's
Really?
public consumption. But I'm just saying I like Love's. I'm Jake now.
Did you sleep through the night?
I did not.
Just anxious about the trip, or?
It was just somebody came calling. I had to go into the other room and do some stuff and then do some searching like, okay, what to eat if you have, oh, okay. I guess I'll have some oatmeal this morning and no caffeine.
Oh,
They
No
say
caffeine?
They say you should back off. I just had a small cup of coffee,
I was about to say.
but it was half hot water. You know how I make my coffee.
Yeah, that's true.
pussy.
So yesterday, so we should talk trip because we're on a trip. We're heading to Oxnard, California for Cowboys training camp.
Sure are.
And
We're actually doing it.
we're being driven in an RV. And the driver of that RV is the great Matt Grimm. He has been a 690 sit-in the past.
His
He's
lady
got
friend,
problems.
His lady friend watches adult films.
He's got problems because he volunteered to RV us across the nation.
What are you
So-
running from?
Yeah, let's. This is, I guess, a bit of his. He does this. He'll drive. Let's check in with Matt, our driver. We do have a microphone up there.
Hello, everyone.
So we're in the RV. We're not moving yet.
Yeah.
We're sitting stationary because we wanted to have at least a portion of this program which sounds good because we think it's going to get a little loud when we get moving.
And we may lose power.
And we might lose power. But right now we've heard our time. Because we've been here for about a half hour or 45 minutes just kind of setting up, getting ready, getting gassed up, emptying the tank, emptying our personal tanks at Love's. Very clean bathrooms. But yeah, man, Matt set us up. I want to say I was ready to roll at 7 a.m. on a Sunday.
He was.
We left at 7:30, but it wasn't because of me. It was because of technical difficulties, which I'm finding pop up left and right in your RV travels.
And that's one of the 10 things I hate about RV travel.
Well, this morning I was searching. I wanted to find, is there a funny RV movie out there? The answer is no. There is an RV movie.
We're the Millers?
Oh, I didn't see that one. I saw one that was
That's where No Regrets
Robin
came
Williams.
from or whatever.
Is it Robin Williams?
Can you not watch a movie that was released after 2005?
It's a fair question.
We Are the Millers is funny. It's got
I've never
Jason
seen it, but I
Sudeikis
have
and
heard it's
Jennifer
funny.
Aniston.
That's why he's in. I think it's not just the RV thing. I think it's that we're attempting to pull something pretty serious off here.
Well, no, but when searching RV videos, there's a whole culture now of people that just... Apparently, a ton of people have left their job, sold all their possessions, and they say they're going to go... They want to live the RV life.
Yeah.
Now, in a lot of these videos, a common theme seems to be the dude was leading the way on this, and the wife was pulled out of her nice suburban life and is a bit beaten being on the RV.
I've seen this happen to friends and friends of friends before. Happened a lot during COVID.
The pandemic helped this.
Yeah, their business was booming for recreational vehicles.
Okay, so RV videos on YouTube are a big deal. And yes, a lot of do's and don'ts, but a big complaint just seems to be that, man, there's a lot more, nickel and diming you to death, little problems that pop up than we had anticipated. We just thought we'd sell our house, you buy this RV for much less, and then it's going to be great. And apparently every day, a little something goes off, a little something goes awry. And we found that to be the case in the RV world, little something here and there.
I haven't been able to play a full game of NCAA yet.
Yeah, that's a good thing, too, because the Bobcats were tearing your ass up.
Okay, we had a second half.
Yeah, well, you were down 2 touchdowns in the first half, and I didn't see
We
any
tied
signs.
it.
I saw no signs of you stopping them.
Well, we
He
needed
got lucky.
We needed some halftime adjustments.
He was about to start the season with a cupcake loss for the Horned Frogs. I was watching every play. He went for a 4th and 1.
I was on the one.
It was a bad play call. Stuffed.
I think if you're heading to California, though, and you've never RV'd before, you need to set up before you even start. So I went to Dora for the head shave yesterday. Blake's got his nice tight pencil. His hair's cut.
I don't like it.
Why?
There was
Hey, why don't you mix in some product once in a while?
There was a.
You've got hair. I'll loan you some. You could look. I could really do wonders up there for you.
I'll work you up some product, bro.
There was a language barrier when I got my hair cut. Didn't get exactly what I wanted, but we're okay. It'll grow back.
So
Yeah,
what was?
not
What else
always.
was on your prep?
I mean, basically that. Just,
okay. You kind of laid it out like you had a big.
Well, I mean, I did bring, because we're traveling and we can bring stuff, and we have an RV. It's a big RV. I brought the blanket, but I added the pillow. Because usually the blanket does go in the suitcase. Towel.
I brought some towels.
Brought my own towel.
Yeah. I wish I would have brought a pillow.
Yeah, and I wish I was actually going to steal one from the hotel we stayed in last night in Albuquerque, but then we met the manager, who's a huge listener, who hooked us up with a deal on the rooms, and we had dinner with him. And as I was staring at the pillow before I left, I felt bad.
Yeah, he was a great dude.
But if you're in the next place, just know you're coming out of there 2 pillows light. That's a promise.
Well, leave a little space in your suitcase then. So you
Yeah,
can
for
just-
sure.
You don't want to just carry it under your arm.
Yeah, we got the kettlebells. Matt's got his dumbbells. We got a yoga mat.
Matt had announcements.
Yeah.
Like a pilot, like a captain before we
did.
left. So, yeah, that was another reason. We could have left 20 minutes late, but Matt had announcements.
And a song, which you will hear at the end of this episode. I have one thing to confess, and this brings me no joy. I accidentally used Blake's toothbrush this morning.
Ooh, you guys are rooming together.
Did you know?
Yeah, that hit me hard this morning when I realized that it was on the wrong side of the sink. And I was thinking, there's no way you can mix up toothbrushes.
They're the exact same toothbrush.
But you put yours on the way far left, and I put mine on the way far right.
I grabbed the first one I saw. I just thought, I must have put it over here.
It's day one. Now I got to use it the rest of the trip.
You do. And I tried to do the deal where, like,
I would buy a new one right now.
I washed it off. You can just buy a new head. I'll get you one when we get back.
Buy a head?
Yeah, it's a Sonic. It's
yeah,
like
but I put a new head on it for the trip.
Electric one that you take off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang it, and I used it this morning too.
Yeah. I realized it as soon as I was putting it
You guys
down
made
and then
out.
saw mine.
That's like
basically
making
it.
out.
We might as well just do it now.
Yeah.
But I tried to
Fine.
do the deal where I tried to dry it, and I couldn't remember if he had put it on the right and that's where I got it, or if it was just on the left because I was ready to blame him for putting it on the
your
left.
bag and your stuff was over on the left.
I know.
You had decided that the left side of the sink was yours.
Because you're a lefty.
That
like
makes
we
sense.
give you the left seat and when we're going to a restaurant.
But I tried to get a towel out.
God, what a major fail.
And I was like trying to dry it off. I'm like, you'll never know. But then I accidentally put it back on the left side again because I couldn't remember where I'd got it from. It was like 3:15 this morning, so I was not all there. But yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah,
Blake is a very. He
tough
told me he
one.
was a heavy sleeper. He definitely is.
I didn't wake up till you left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can sleep
Until I
through
left
anything.
the second time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I left it. I was downstairs in the lobby.
No, I told Jake he could,
3:15 or 3:45.
you can do whatever you want in the room. It's not going to bother me.
He means it.
When I first saw you playing that video game, Blake, before the generator cut out the first time,
Yes.
the first 2 hours or whatever was just setting up the team. Like you never even played.
No.
There was no playing.
And I think I've told you guys this before, but I've spent more time in the menus of sports video games than I think anywhere else in my life.
So you're
And
just laying out your whole roster?
So-
Like, are you making
Yeah, the first thing
transfers?
I had to do was reorganize the conferences.
Do
of
you
college
really care
football.
about this?
Well, no, it's
And I'll keep
interesting
Because
to
talking
me.
he's
while
just
you
going to
guys
keep
talk.
talking.
Well, no, my
So
thing, I guess, is just that you turn on a video game and I want to play. I want to play.
No, you got to set it up.
But
I'm familiar with that too because when they introduced franchise mode in Madden, I was obsessed. Like that's what I really wanted to do.
no, the more I'm thinking about it, though, I was thinking about it during dinner last night, thinking that's actually kind of really cool.
Yeah.
Like, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of like I don't know, it's the 40-man fantasy roster instead of the 25-man. It's your. I mean, it's year-round business. You're working at. Now I'm recruiting. Now I'm.
Yeah, in franchise mode in Madden, I mean, you could do it. You could start out with your team if you wanted, but you could also do a league-wide draft. Just every player in the game goes back in. You take the Cowboys. They deal you a random number for a pick. You can trade picks for more picks, take whoever, and then in the offseason, obviously you have to get ready for the draft again, but you also have to sign contracts. So you have to figure out the market. I was obsessed with that. And that they've taken it to a whole nother level because, dude, on this game, you have to, like, host visits. Like,
Oh,
you got a
that-
5-star from Miami who wants to come to Fort Worth to see you, like a receiver.
Can
have
you
a-
actually lose out then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a very immersive.
I've been following this online very closely. I'm never going to play it, but I'm fascinated by it. Like,
it's very deep. Yeah.
like a kid from his hometown just wants to go there, and he chooses like a substandard school for him because it means that much to play in Louisville to him. And you're like, I'm Ohio State. And he's like, I just want to be close to my family.
Now, there are what they call deal breakers. So some kids just care about pro potential, and so they won't go to TCU because they want to go pro. They'll go to Alabama or something like that. Some want to stay close to home. Some want to play right away. Some want to play for a prestigious coach. These are all things you have to consider when trying to get a student athlete
Like,
to Fort Worth.
Can you somehow get Deuce Robinson to transfer on your game?
I don't know if you can sway players on a team.
But there is a portal,
Yeah, but there is, for sure.
and you can get fired.
You can get
Okay.
fired, and if a kid's not playing enough, he'll hit the portal. And then, like, even recruiting the kid, you can call him, DM him, call his mom, or send the house.
I like the idea that you can spring practice. Jake said you were practicing before
Yeah.
you actually kicked off your first game.
Yeah, I was
So
working
you
on
got one play.
getting in
Oh,
the
yeah,
lab.
this play looks good.
Yeah.
You know what he didn't practice? Defense. At all.
Game needs some adjustments.
So we left at 7 a.m. We make it to Amarillo by noon 30, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't morning anymore.
No.
Which beat your projections.
Thank you. No.
What is this? Do we have a bit going? I don't
Very
know.
popular George Strait song.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, bro.
I'm not. And we're kind of surprised. What was there, about
Was he 12?
10 people?
I
10
think I counted
dudes?
the picture, yeah.
10 dudes plus
couple
their
ladies.
family,
Yeah.
plus their kids.
We made quite the entrance. Almost took down a couple trees on the way in.
Yeah, as everybody's just standing outside waiting on us.
Waiting outside the restaurant, then here we come.
Yeah,
taking
we went
down
to
branches.
6-car pub and brewery,
Very
which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Super solid omelet.
Spent an hour and a half there, and then headed to Albuquerque.
God, I got to witness the Dan vegetarian eggs versus non-vegetarian eggs and how you order certain things. He was on full display.
I could have helped you with that. There was a simpler way to do it, but it was still not your fault.
Well, I just said I want the regular omelet, but add the Beyond Meat to it.
Oh, I get it. I
And
get
so
it.
then they gave me the Beyond omelet,
Yep.
which has all these foofy
Yeah,
vegetables.
but
and,
the problem
I
is...
didn't want the Beyond omelet. I want a regular burger with lettuce and tomato with the Beyond patty on it.
You know what
And
really...
I will order that, and they will give me the wheat bun and the
lame cheese.
aioli sauce or the
Yeah.
the vegan cheese. I'm like, I don't want a
Yeah.
vegan thing. I want regular. Just anyway.
The problem
I've
also was that
missed
you
this.
added vegetables. And that really sent him for a loop. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He added vegetables. He wants
the
he
regular
wants the
omelet.
fake meat. He must want the fake omelet.
Right.
That was a tough scene.
Yeah, get used to it, Blake.
No, I love it.
This
'cause
happens everywhere.
Yeah, I know. Super Bowl's in training camp. I looked forward to Restaurant Dan.
I just want to be treated differently.
Yeah, but he was outdone last night at dinner at the hotel by Matt, driver Matt, because he might as well have been my 5-year-old ordering the mods this guy was throwing down. He made Dan look like a union worker who just shows up to get his lunch from the lunch line. Never heard so much in my life.
Shout out
on
to
a
David
burger.
at the Albuquerque Marriott.
Absolutely.
Fantastic dinner as well.
Did you see him this morning?
You had a suit on.
He did have a suit on.
He
7 a.m.
did. No,
sharp.
I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
I thought my dinner question was, before we start on the road, because we're going to start on the road here in a minute.
Which might
You
be
ready,
the
Matt?
end of this portion of the recording.
Fingers crossed.
This
Yeah.
will be happening in phases today.
But my dinner question was, because I am pretty sure I did not do this at lunch. But, what was it? Rob, Blake, and Jake all got their meals, and they just sat there while Dan and David and Matt did not have their meals. And then Matt was the first one. I was thinking it, but I just kind of wanted to see how long it would play out. Matt's like, hey, we're all bros here. Just start eating. We're not this isn't a
date?
a date or a summit or I don't know. You're not worried about the customs of the Japanese prime minister. Like, you just start eating, dude. You got your food. Eat it while it's hot. And these guys were being polite.
Well, I'll tell you.
Although Jake did grab a fry. He
Yeah.
thought, well, that doesn't break the code.
I don't know. I thought about that when it happened. I was like, why? I do that all the time.
Like, I can eat a fry, but
Yeah.
I won't bite into my burger.
And the weirdest thing is if you're at a Tex-Mex place and you've already been eating chips and salsa, but then you
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
when your food gets there. And I'll tell you why I do it. It's probably why Blake does it if he does it. I don't like you all having no food, so you're just seeing me eat. I don't like people seeing me eat, period.
It's part of it.
I mean, I don't, end of sentence. Not like I eat, menstruation. I don't like seeing people. I don't like people watching me eat. So if I'm just sitting there pounding down my shrimp tacos and you guys are all just staring at me, that's very uncomfortable to me. I have eating stage fright.
Okay.
But if you're eating, you're focused on your meal,
Yeah.
and it's like, then we're done at the same time. I also remember there was a time on the Stars road trip, which was like the first sophisticated road trip I'd been on. You're wearing a suit, you're on a plane, you're eating at really nice restaurants, and we were at some awesome place. Like, Ralph was there, the entire crew was there, and they brought out soup. And I quickly devoured said soup, and I looked up, and one of their truck guys was like, When's the last time you ate?
So now you're being judged.
Yeah, I was like, because I eat really fast.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
Because you're used to eating in breaks.
I look like a porry.
Yeah.
Like everyone else was just tastefully sipping wine and like tasting the soup, and mine was done. I was like, dude, I'm such a hillbilly. I do want to be commended for one thing.
Oh, you're asking for...
And Blake, this is more so for you. Because I'm relatively thin, or at least have a thin build that I'm putting fat on, I skate on people thinking like that guy probably has a major fart problem. For some reason, that always gets ascribed to fat people. But I do. And I have been very, very studious about going to the bathroom. And
So you go to the bathroom just to do that?
Yeah. And then I stay in there for a minute, turn
just
the
to
fan
let
on.
air go.
Yeah.
Okay, the fan was on, and I was wondering, what, did one of the guys turn this on? They want it on? I'll just leave it on.
Yeah.
Because so we're in an RV, and dude, I think the three of us, well, maybe Blake would help. But in general, like,
no chance.
Dan and Jake couldn't survive in here for 10 minutes.
No
I don't know
chance.
that we ever get out of the driveway, number one. But, like, things go awry, and I asked Jake, are the men working on this? Because Matt and Rob are able to ascertain, the cause of this problem, or why is the generator down, or what's going on, or when something's wrong. And so I had to go number one yesterday as we're driving along.
Mm-hmm. Which is permitted.
Well, I was embarrassed to ask if you can. Like, I didn't know, when you hook up an RV to, like, a campsite or something, does it have water? Like, how? So I Googled it.
You didn't want to ask because you felt like you were a little fairy?
Yeah.
What'd you Google?
Have you never been on an RV ever?
Can you pee on an RV while it's moving? And no.
There's a tank. Yeah, you just flush it. At least you knew to put water in there, but now I'm learning that's because you Googled it.
Well, there was already a little water in, so I thought, it just is hooked up to some water tank. And then when I went later, it seemed very dry. And so I sneakily, but then you caught me. Because you're like, hey, dude, there's water in the fridge. I'm like, no, I'm good with this. And you're like, well, no, seriously, there's a cold
I was wondering why he was getting
It's like right there. And I go,
lukewarm room temp water.
I'm going to pour it in the I'm going to pour it in the RV.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Well, I should make mention, too, that during that time, I accidentally, some number 2 came out.
That's the problem with sitting down to pee, Blake.
Was that the smell in here yesterday?
Well, he was also farting all day.
No.
But
all of my farts were in the chamber.
Well,
yeah, I was in there. I wasn't out here doing it.
Well, one of those smells
true, but-
lofted up to the top, and it was bad.
Well, it was
bad news.
It was before our last stop, because then our last stop, I was very happy to.
All my farts in the
that we
room were in
got
the
to a
bathroom.
Love's.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, RV life. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday was awesome.
Should
we were never
we-
in here for like more than 4 hours, 4.5 hours moving.
Want to take off and just keep doing the show and see if it works?
Yeah.
Why
We'll
not?
see.
Like, we're heading to Flagstaff now. That's our next stop, is try to get lunch at Flagstaff. And then we're going to stay in a, we're not sure. Will we stay at Bullhead City? Or I have another place.
Barstow.
Or Barstow, yes. That would cut 2.5 hours
Barstow
off our
Sports,
trip to
yeah.
Oxnard.
That was horrible, and don't you laugh at it.
All right, so
It's fired up.
let's fire up the RV. Let's start going.
This portion of the trip brought to you by Addison Coffee Roasters.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Thanks to them for hooking us up with the...
Coffee, little tumblers, coffee tumblers, addisoncoffee.com.
What is this?
I'm a big fan of the caramel.
This is the song that Matt created.
Now, I want to be very clear with people that this could end at any moment. If you hear a
if
beep,
you hear a beep.
Yeah.
it means we have to stop and we'll pick back up in Flagstaff.
Yeah, that's all right.
So do you want to hear
Oh, yeah, Jake is flying home.
Yeah, we'll get
not
to that.
flying home? Do you guys want to hear about what Blake and I did last night?
Absolutely.
So we had dinner at the hotel with our good friend David from the hotel. And I think earlier in the week I had just done a what to do in Albuquerque. The short answer, not much. I'm sure there's some nice parts of the, like, quaint, interesting things to see.
There's a lot of nothing out here. There's a lot of beaten downness too.
Oh my, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you.
It's not Amarillo.
I'm sorry to interrupt your story, but so I took a walk as Rob was setting up past Love's. There was a dispensary.
Yeah, let's not put those on camera.
What? You can have a
Yeah, I
you
suppose
can go to
you
a
can. It's
dispensary in
legal.
New Mexico, but I wanted to see what are you dispensing here? And yeah, so they hooked me up with some gummies.
Nice. I Google what to do in Albuquerque. I wasn't sure what time we were going to be here, so it's not like we were going to have too much on our time on our hands, and we were going to have dinner at the hotel. It's a lot of like, hot air balloon, very popular. Extremely popular. There were like 5 different tour companies within 15 miles of Albuquerque.
And you're not about that.
I would have done it if we could have done it as a show, but they do it in the morning.
Okay.
It's like a sunrise thing. There's, like, go look at rocks, you know? What?
I'm just hearing the fuzz in the background, just wondering if it's all good.
I mean, this is how it's going to sound on the
Okay.
road.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you can go look at, like, cool limestone or whatever. There's rocks. You can go look at hiking tours. But one thing that jumped out at me, there were probably 4 or 5 separate ghost tours. I don't know what this is. There's an old town portion of the city.
Like, is Albuquerque known for ghosts?
Apparently. Now, did I know that?
Because I haven't heard
No.
of a town having one ghost tour.
You haven't looked. Most have. Like, if you go to, like, Boston, they have a ghost tour.
Okay.
On the East Coast, all those old cities, you can get a ghost tour. Austin has one. Our buddies from Circling Back
Okay.
down in Austin went and did a tour and
I think
filmed it.
Okay, I have heard of that in Austin.
Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I didn't know what's the deal with ghosts in Albuquerque. So I booked one. The 8 o'clock tour that was 1 hour sold out on a Sunday night. So I was forced to book the 2-hour tour, same price. It was like $2 more. All well knowing, not a chance in hell Blake and I are going to be here for 2 hours.
What's a ghost tour cost?
$30.
So you didn't even ask me.
No.
You just knew there's no way I'm going,
We knew
No.
better.
No.
which was true.
Yeah. I never even would have considered it. You've been on the road all day. I could sense that you were probably going to have diarrhea at some point. So we take the Uber over there. Actually, David drove us there from the hotel. You meet up in this little area. It's old town. It's all old buildings that look like New Mexico. You know what I mean? There's a big church. There's adobe type buildings. There's a little square. And we walk up, and there's clearly a group of people. It's all touristy type stuff. Like, this is where you get the hot air balloons tours start type thing, and they take you on a shuttle. So,
And I've said this for every event I've been to, starting with the Kevin James show. They seem like Kevin James fans. Saw a lot of Lindsey Sterling fans at the concert. These are ghost tour people.
we had ghost people. And I'll tell you something else. This is, we need I guess we used to call it Is It Racist? But I'm just going to tell you stereotypes that are true. I know this from time that I spent in San Antonio, whenever I would drive from San Marcos to San Antonio to go to rock shows. I don't know what it is, man, but the like late teen, early 20s Latino, there's a high incidence of goth. Very common
Okay.
to see, you know, black fingernails, crazy makeup,
Really?
a little green in the hair. Yeah, it's real.
I like a little green in the hair. I think that's a cool bit.
And those are oftentimes people who believe in ghosts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Golf
we saw
people
yeah.
believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's higher than the normal population, right? So we saw that when we're walking up, and there's
How
probably
many people are on the tour?
Okay, so they were enough to where they had 2 different guides. So their group had
At 9 p.m. on a Sunday
8 p.m.,
night.
but still, yeah.
Yeah, combining the two groups, there's probably 20?
Yeah.
Did you already say that?
Yeah,
About
there was
20
like
people.
10 or 11 in theirs, and then ours had 9. I don't know if we got the better of the 2 guides. The lady guide was really over the top. We could hear her introing her group, and I'm like, damn, that's the one we should have been in. But our guy did not necessarily disappoint. He was probably, would you say, 70?
Yeah, he was older.
He
Or
was-
New Mexico 55, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's very true. He was a big man. He was probably 6 foot 280. He had a cane. and he was wearing like a taxi cab driver hat, you know, with like the snap button in the middle.
Yeah.
And he had the yellow tinted like
The
John
1920s type.
Yeah,
type
and then he had the yellow tinted John Lennon glasses.
Okay.
And a gray beard, probably down to about his nips. This all checks out so far, right?
Yeah.
He's a ghost guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then
So-
probably Santa Claus at Christmas
Yeah,
time.
he could get work for sure. He could definitely get work. Big guy, gray beard.
So it's like, too, when you go into a dispensary.
It checks out.
Oh, yeah, of course you
I'm
work
sorry,
here.
dispensary
You look,
worker. Are you in mortgage banking?
you look like you work at a dispensary.
Yeah, every time.
You
So-
look like a ghost tour guy.
Yeah, so, he's like, all right, follow me this way. And he had a really distinctive voice, which you'll hear.
Yeah.
But also, what you will hear is he's wearing a headset with a mic and has a small speaker on him, you know? But as I mentioned to you, he's a big man who's 70 with a cane. So that mic is doing him no favors because every
Yeah. had to sit down to present.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not being lazy, folks. I just had surgery on my back. And we're like, all right, whatever. And I could tell right away we're not making it through like more than 2 stops here. Like this is lame as hell. We just wanted to say we did it, get a little bit of audio. So I'll give you a little taste here, and we can jump around a little bit. This is as he's kicking things off. He's counting us out. Also, notice there were some rules and restrictions that we immediately broke.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First thing I want to do is take a photograph of everybody. So if everybody can kind of condense, some people can stand up on the bench. Let's have somebody stand up on the bench and move in so I can fit in my frame, okay? It's just to let the boss know that I'm at work today.
That's our
Just
first
to
one.
let the boss know that I came to work today.
And then
Of course, yes.
And then what you hear there, faintly, is extremely labored breathing.
Okay, got the polite laugh from the lady.
Okay, do I see 9 people in here? I do.
More breathing.
There we go.
Darth
Big
Vader.
smile on everybody's face. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. Booyah.
Booyah.
How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Welcome everybody to the Ghost Tours of Old Town Albuquerque. My name is Charlie. I've been here 13 years, and assisting me tonight is Andres. And together, the two of us are going to take you folks on a lantern-led tour around Old Town tonight. We'll be going in front of buildings, behind buildings, down dark alleys, and giving you the history and the mystery of those who passed on all those years ago, and not so many years ago. You are standing on property many consider one of the most haunted in all of North America.
All right, you get the idea, right? He's got a spiel. He's got it down. It goes about...
Nice deep voice.
Oh, he's got a great voice. I think this is great for Santa Claus as well. So that goes on like another few minutes, and then we get to the part where, he's kind of interacting with the crowd a little bit, and yeah.
You can take all the photographs you like. Please, however, no audio, no video.
Oops.
The boss wants, that's what I have to tell you. Okay. How many of you believe in ghosts? I like them. How many
Just
of you
pause it.
Did you guys raise your hand?
Half the crowd said yes.
Yeah.
And not like a meek, like,
An emphatic yes.
yes,
Okay.
hand in
And
the air.
also-
I'm here.
I believe
Yeah.
in ghosts.
So there was also one guy. Makes sense. Makes
Oh,
sense of this for me.
no. Are we dying?
We have some beeping.
Wah, 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 wah.
We may be pausing.
Okay.
Coming
at some
up after
point-
this,
Keep
At
going,
some
Rob.
point, we may be. He's saying
says
keep,
keep
going,
going.
but we may be pausing
Okay.
at some point.
So
just
there's
you
a
know.
guy-
We're trying to do something never done before.
right.
There was a guy.
Maybe we're finding out why it's never been
There
done.
there was a white guy who looked like he would have been at Jesse's house.
Definitely.
He had like Jinko type jeans on,
Huge jeans.
a black cutoff T-shirt, and he had something that I don't think I've ever seen before. He had gauge earrings, piercings. So he had like the big loop,
Okay.
but he had them out. Dunzo?
No,
Okay,
we
I
can
thought you
finish.
said go.
We can finish.
Yeah, so he had the gauges out.
So
I've never seen the
his-
ear where I could. I
was it
literally
like
could
just
have.
hanging?
I literally could have given like the 2 finger. I could have digitized his.
It was
The
just
hole.
hanging open.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, wow.
Like, and I saw him from behind. I was like, "You ever seen that before?" And they were like flopping.
Does it ever,
I think it does.
retract back
I think
in?
it takes a long time, but it does.
or is he going to be in the old folks' home?
So
big
I don't
droopy-
know. I think it does, though.
he's clearly a guy who's done a lot of drugs in the past.
Yeah.
And has now gotten clean.
Yeah.
Is into ghost tours now.
And
Like, that's his rehab.
And we know this because when the guy asked, "Has anyone done this tour before?" he raised his hand. I'm like, "You want to do this shit twice?" Like, because all the tour
And it's
is
a 2-hour.
Yeah.
I think he said he's done 30 of them.
Yeah, he said he'd done 30 total ghost tours, 30-something. And here's the thing. All this is the guy walks you around to different spots, like in Old Town, and has like a 15-minute story about each one of them. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like, hey, let's go into this creepy place and let's see what we see. He just sits there and tells you the story. And he does that, I assume, over the course of an evening about 6 times, and that's the tour.
Yeah, I had no
we
idea.
stayed for 1.
I had no idea what to expect, but it's basically campfire ghost stories
Yeah.
at different locations in old parts of town.
But you have to stand.
Yeah, and you got to follow this guy around.
It's not like you have a drink or anything. It's
But
not
his-
like a mystery theater type deal.
But his helper disappeared for a little bit, and I thought for sure, like, oh, he's going to go dress as a ghost or something and
Yeah.
walk past us to, build the story up. But no, he's
we also debated, Blake and I, whether or not it was just going to be a deal where they pointed at homeless people and they were like, ooh.
yeah, because a junkie walked by and we're like, oh, yeah, that is pretty scary.
Spooky. Okay, so the second piece here, like I said, is him asking, who believes in ghosts? And half the group raises their hand. And then when he gets to skeptics, this is where Blake Jones jumps in. Now, when he starts referencing, what about you, sir? He's pointing at me because I have a shit-eating grin on my face. Might have been
Phone
gummy.
in hand
I'm
recording.
Yeah, I wasn't even really trying to hide it, and I didn't raise my hand for any of it.
You can take all the photographs you like. Please, however, no audio, no video. That's what the boss wants, and that's what I have to tell you, okay? How many of you believe in ghosts? I like it. How many of you are skeptics? You believe it, but you gotta see with your own 2 eyes.
Here comes Blake.
Blake raised his hand for
This
that.
guy here.
Very
How many of you
mildly.
are scientifically bent? In other words, no matter what we see, science explains everything. He don't know. Let's hope he levitates in an hour. That should prove interesting.
That's the best fake laugh.
Yes, of
That's
course.
exactly like the ghost
And
story.
you'll hear, too, I added to it. I looked Blake dead in the eye and gave a nah. Because, yeah, he points at me and he's like, what about, And I'm like, I don't know, man. And he's like, he doesn't know.
He points at Jake
Yeah.
and says, oh, yeah, no matter what happens, you'll never believe. And all the ghost people look at Jake.
Yeah,
Like,
get this
what?
asshole
How
out of
could
here.
you? Why are you even here?
Yeah, and then that's what he's like, oh, scientifically bent. Like, oh, you mean I believe in, like, the facts?
He don't know. Let's hope he levitates in an hour. That should prove interesting. I am not here to make you believers nor disbelievers, my friends. I am here to entertain you. And if I've accomplished that at the end of the tour, why, gratuities are always warmly appreciated.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that's
yeah.
a big bit.
Yeah, well, we were gone, so I hope it worked out
My
for
bike
him.
tour in Amsterdam, that was a big thing. Gratuity. And then you feel
Yeah.
like obligated. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you just took us around Amsterdam for 2 hours. All
Yeah, and
right.
this is laboring,
Yeah.
Can barely walk.
Are you going to not give him? Well, I guess you guys
one
aren't.
way to do it is
Just
to
leave.
just not be there.
So he's got some jokes coming up. We may need to break.
Okay.
We only have a couple minutes
That's
left.
cool,
on the,
yeah.
on
He
the
had a couple
generator.
jokes.
Welcome to the Larbert Oaks Mansion Ghost Tour. Built in 1887, 5 generations of Farsleys have inhabited this mansion, and an unusual number of them have met their deaths under suspicious circumstances. Bad for them, but good for me. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a ghost tour. There are over 20 suspicious deaths. So during the tour, why don't you guys stay close by? We wouldn't want to make it 21 tonight, would we? It's just after 10 p.m. This is the adult tour, which means you can drink if you want, and we can say whatever the hell we want.
Jizz.
Sorry?
Jizz? Like cum shot? You can say that because you said we can say whatever the hell we want.
Sure.
Or horse cock?
Yeah, I guess. There are no rules about swearing.
Awesome.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
All the way up in the air.
It's just been in my head. I think someone brought it up Friday or something. So all weekend I've been thinking about it. Picturing punts.
Well, we had a little interaction off the air just now that perhaps we'll play the audio of one point on the trip because a straggler.
Thank you.
He said, "You know what I like about football?" I'm not going to do his voice. I could, but I'm not. He said, "Because you can like kick it, and it goes all the way up."
All the way
And
up
then you're
in the
like,
air.
"Whoa!" Then he offered me a red 100, which I think would kill me right now.
Do you want to hear it?
Oh, all the way up in the air.
Yeah, that was the guy.
Or
Yeah.
save it?
Well, oh Jesus!
Oh my goodness.
We'll save it.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got the video.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, Blake was interviewing some locals. In that break, that short break that you heard, we time traveled like 4 hours.
Yeah.
We're now in Flagstaff, Arizona,
F-staff.
which has beauty surrounding beatenness. It just feels like there's a lot of beatenness, but then there's a lot of beauty.
If you're in Flagstaff, though, I don't think we can recommend Crystal Creek Sandwich Company enough.
Yeah.
That was electric.
How about Matt? I was disappointed in Matt's choice. And he's not even here to hear this. Matt, the driver, chose which place to go to. And I was thinking, you know what you're getting at Subway? Why not just hit a Subway? You know what it is at least.
Because we're traveling.
Yeah, I know, but a beaten, just strip mall,
Do you
like
know-
rat infested.
Listen, dude.
That is Subway.
Do you know, like, this is like whenever he didn't know that if you use the iCloud or Google Photo, that it organizes all of it by person, by facial recognition, and by month.
Nah,
It's
no good.
literally doing all the stuff that you say that you used to do. It just does it for you. He doesn't understand how to just look at Google Maps and look at a star. If you look at Google Maps and it has 5,000 reviews.
I just know too many people like you that just say, I'll just give him 5 stars.
No, that's the thing. I usually don't. I'm not going to rate that place, but the people that do. Have I ever taken you to a place whenever we've been on the road that you didn't like?
I don't think so.
No. Subway.
Yeah.
He wants to go to Subway.
The reason Subway is popular is it's consistent. You know what you're getting across the whole nation.
You just look at the thing. It's got 4.5 stars. You see the photos, and you're like, this is a real sandwich shop.
Well, anyway, wherever we just went,
It was great.
5 stars.
like it's as Rob said, probably the best tuna sandwich I've ever had.
Wow.
And I was trying to but it's a beaten clientele.
Oh,
Ever
you
see a
mean-
guy with more face tattoos than
That was shocking.
That was shocking.
like
Blake-
Post Malone
and-
would be like, whoa,
And
bro,
he was at lunch with his grandma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appeared to be his grandma. And Blake and I were marveling at the
Or-
gentleman who.
a May December.
Yeah, I would think that's more like May and then back around to February. that he was old. But there was a guy in there with a service dog. Neither gentleman at the table had any sort of like real handicap.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that the guy who had the service dog had in front of him what I think was like a 40-ounce beer mug, and it was dark beer.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you're going to need that dog.
Yeah.
And I was
To get
thinking, how
home.
fun would it be to just, hey,
Have a drunk
12:30 on a Monday,
walk me
just
home dog.
just get ripped and have this dog in a jacket. Be like, come on, Keith,
And
I'll take you home.
You'll typically see like Labradors be service dogs. This was just like a run-of-the-mill dog that was not trained. Like he stood up to bite Jake when he walked in, and he's having to like keep it back from people. Like I
All
said,
he had
"Jake."
was a jacket that said service dog.
I was like,
Do
I
you
don't
remember-
think
that
that's
was
a
it.
service dog.
Do you remember the girl behind the counter that took our order?
Yeah.
Okay, got a visual.
Yeah.
I was trying to develop is there a story, like a timeline? Because we all agree that there are infinite number of timelines and things that could happen to us from this moment on.
I know where this is headed.
Is there a timeline where somehow her and I, just in that brief interaction, fell in love, and you guys just keep going without me, and somehow I'm here for the rest of my life in Flagstaff, Arizona?
He's been on an RV for 24 hours.
I know.
And he's talking like this.
I know.
Dude,
It's sad.
She was very friendly with me. You have to admit, she was
It's
flirting a
day
little bit.
2.
Anyway, we paused in the middle of a story. If you can remember where we were, Jake, that was 4 hours ago to you, but to many listening, it was just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, we're checking in on the Blake Jake Ghost Tour in Albuquerque last night. It was really beaten, but
And
we wanted
that
to go.
ghost tour we just heard, exactly like the laugh.
Yes.
Just the whole
yeah.
just fake.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of that coming
Not
up.
fake laugh. It's actually like those people think this guy's funny.
Yes. No, he would do very well in an open mic with this crowd. And, he's a performer. He's got his bits down. So let's see here. Let me try to cue up where we were. The guy had already kind of made fun of me because he's like, oh, apparently this young man is of a science brain.
Yes.
And, Blake raised his hand for skeptical, like a B.
Okay.
I was trying to fit in.
Yeah, so this, I believe, is where he gives us one of his jokes.
Now, we do have what's called a minor ghost, where day or night, one person or 100 people see something that just scares the daylights out of them, and they come rushing to our ghost tour office swearing that they've seen a spirit. When questioned what time did you see this so-called spirit, almost universally the answer is between 1:30 and 2 o'clock in the morning. And that, my friends, is when the bars close down. So we got names for those spirits: Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Jose Cuervo. But that's okay, we never throw away a sighting, because if we get two more similar or
He
identical...
didn't really get much of a reaction on that one.
No, but clearly,
Yeah.
he's
He's like Keith Richards up there playing Satisfaction.
yeah, or he's
He's
you
like,
know,
look,
that's
I got to give the people what they want, It is what it is.
maybe Seinfeld. All right, I'll do the sock in the dryer bit. I know
Yeah.
you all came here for that one.
Yeah. So then let's get to this bit here. So that intro was about 5 minutes, where he's having us take a picture. He's telling us don't record any audio.
And you guys are still there.
And I'm basically holding the phone out,
I'd at least put mine in my pocket.
I wanted the clean, as clean as I could get it. So that takes about 5 minutes. He's got some hacky jokes. He's telling us that we're standing on the ground of one of the most haunted places in all of North America. And I'm like, that's funny because it's like, look, I don't want to mess with Finland. What do you mean North America? You're making it up. You might as well say the world. You have all the license you want.
Yeah.
So that takes about 5 minutes, and then he's like, why don't we continue to our first destination? So we walk for like, what would you say, a minute and a half, 2 minutes? It's like into this little covered area, and it's all really old buildings. It's Old Town, and it's like old missions and churches and like little kitschy shops and stuff. So this is basically what the tour is, as I said in the first portion of this. It was several different stops, and he's going to talk for like 15 minutes at each one of them. But that's all he's going to do. We made it through one of those, and here's how that one, I believe, started.
One of the most famous ghosts in all the Southwest is an entity known as Old Sarge. He is a soldier of the Civil War. He has been seen here in Old Town since the Civil War.
Notice he's out of breath.
Yes, he's also sitting down, as we said. He's got his cane. That walk took it out of him. He's literally doubled over trying to deliver this presentation.
How is he seen? Well, first of all, what does he look like? Well, he's an older sort of a fella. He's got a big beard, big white beard like mine. He wears his uniform of the Texas Confederacy.
Are you bored yet?
The cavalry.
It's super boring.
Yeah, okay.
And he just tells you the story of he's an old Civil War soldier. He came from Texas.
What he looks like.
What he looks like, he was an older soldier. And he was in his uniform. He was on his white stallion. And then he's like, here's the times people have seen this old guy, right? He's like going through times. And one of them, he mentions a time a guy was like a street sweeper.
It's apparently right there where you were. That's
yes,
where they
like
see
he's
him?
pointing into the middle of the road and into this like adobe building. And he's like, many times old Sarge has been seen riding right through the walls of that building.
And we're right next to the street, so people are driving by looking at us.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm like, dude, I'd be walking by going, like doing the BJ symbol.
And Gage's guy
throwing cheese,
locked in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, hands behind his back, paying attention.
The guy
to
who
him.
has been on the tour before.
Yes.
And 29 others.
Okay.
So here's his joke from this part. This is probably really the last bit of audio I'll play because when he got done with his 15 minutes at this portion, I'll tell you about that in a second. But here's one of Old Sarge's sightings where a guy who drove a city truck, a street sweeper, thought he hit him because he saw the horse and the Old Sarge in the road. So he stops, he gets out, and he can't find him.
If another man asks you, where did you get your equipment, you have to tell me. That way I look better next time we have another one of these outings, you see. And just saying nothing to me would be a grave insult. And his old man said nothing to him. He essentially ghosted him.
There's a double take on the laughter, and the second one is me looking at Blake going, nah.
And his old man said nothing to him. He essentially ghosted him.
Well, you can tell which one is me. So then, like, okay, we're on this street.
So if you would have stayed for 2 hours, you're going to get like 10 jokes.
I know, but I didn't have it in me,
I'm
dude.
just saying. That's all. That's not a high ratio of.
No, 10 might be generous, but
yeah, there was one joke in that 15 minutes.
yeah, he had one of the intro,
Okay,
one of the
8 jokes.
Yeah, but like, so now the assistant has returned. I'm not really sure what his role is. I think he had a camera. Also, want to point out Latino goth. Did a little research, by the way, in the break there. It is a thing.
Nice.
Because of, I guess like Latino culture, you have like Dia de
Muerte.
Yeah, that some of the art, some of the macabre stuff fits with their art. So he's like behind us, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know. We're just gonna have to do it. So the group starts walking one way, and Blake and I just turn around and walk the other way, and it's just two.
Do you think
two
it was
groups.
like they noticed at some point?
100%.
Okay.
100. There was only 9 of us in the group.
Okay.
And I'm
and he was
tall.
asking for Jake to levitate.
Yeah.
he was.
okay.
He was,
Jake had a target on him.
He was locked onto me for
The
most
tall
of this.
guy with the phone holding out.
Who had said he doesn't believe in ghosts.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was locked onto me for most of the first part of the presentation.
So you had to wait till he's limping ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
pretty
guys
much.
just
And I just looked at the assistant guy when we were leaving. I was like, dude, something came up. We'd love to stay. We got to go. And he's like, oh, okay. So what I did, I turned around and looked at Blake. I was like, come on. Because all I wanted to do was get to the next street and duck into the side street before they had a chance to turn around. And they may have been stopping, and I didn't want them to see us. The 9 minutes we had to wait on an Uber was the longest 9 minutes of my life because I knew they were going to come back around.
You just didn't want to get caught.
I did not want to get caught.
Guys, we're not done.
There they are.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, and I
you'd
just
be like, oh,
pretend to be
man,
a ghost.
I don't
I'm
know
like, oh, it's the ghost of Jake.
a tall guy.
Yeah, so that was a long wait. Got a real look at the unhoused scene in Albuquerque during that time.
I heard that's a heavy
It is.
heavy player.
It definitely is. So
David told us. Yeah.
that's the rundown on the ghost tour. Would not recommend.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys did that, so I didn't have to. That's why I'm watching the Dude Perfect documentary, so you don't have to.
And then the Uber ride back, he didn't have any air conditioning, so instead he had stacked like 3 small fans on top of one each.
Like the fan you might have had in college. That's like,
But there
I
were
don't know.
3 of them,
Yeah.
small ones, and they all illuminated, and they just blew like just
hot air.
And
And
back.
stinky.
Had his windows down.
Yeah.
It was a beaten Uber for sure.
We drove through a pot cloud, no doubt.
Oh my God.
Stanked all holy hell.
Yeah.
It was quite a night.
Yeah. It was fun. I mean, it was fun. It was just, there was a point like halfway through the old Sarge deal where Blake goes, "Is this it?" And I was like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
What if, before we move on to our next topic, I tell you that the all-new Prosper Ford is open now. It is up the tollway at 380 and the tollway, prosperford.com. You can go online and check it out. I have bought 4 vehicles now over the years from Chaz Gilmore. Chaz owns Grapevine Ford. He owns Crest Nissan. And then he built Prosper Ford from the ground up, and he made it into the perfect dealership.
You know, it used to be a field.
My gosh, not that long ago, Blake. Maybe 2 years ago, it was just a field. And now it is a beautiful, beautiful showroom. And they've got all the great commitment to excellence that Chaz demands out of all of his dealerships, like service after the sale. You can get up there and be treated wonderfully by Prosper Ford. I'm driving the Bronco right now, the Bronco Sport, and I love it.
You and Video Man, the Bronco boys.
That's right. Video
I was going to
Man.
go up there, but I'm really concerned about the environment, and I was looking for an electric vehicle, and I was told they don't have those there.
No, they absolutely do, man.
What?
They've got electric cars, 2-door coupes to full-size trucks and SUVs like the Mach-E.
There we go.
Yeah. So head up to Prosper Ford. tell Chaz hello. Give him a hug for us. It is $380 on the tollway or online, prosperford.com.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. So during the break, too, it's funny. We're driving, and I try to listen to the men talk so I can learn things and then know just
Fat
enough.
chance, bro.
Well, what I've come to realize, because we were talking earlier about RVs and problems that can arise with RVs, and there's some unique problems if you're trying to do your broadcast out of an RV while it's moving. But apparently the generator issues could be caused by the elevation. And I was nodding like,
Makes perfect sense.
Okay, yeah, duh. The elevation.
What are you supposed to do about the elevation?
I know. That can certainly affect a generator because I'm well aware of how a generator works.
If we were like in the ocean, it would work fine.
It generates, yeah, we got to be at sea level. Or below. Below, it works better.
Even better. That's what I'm saying.
Dig really low. So if you have a generator at home, bury that thing, and it will just power itself. Because the core of the Earth, the heat of it will seep into
the magma.
Yeah. So we're going to keep giving you RV tips throughout the week that we are learning. What the elevation is here, I don't know, but I heard Albuquerque was like Denver. So I'm going to say this is lower.
I'm going to say...
And because there's big, like, mountains next to us.
I'm going to say 2,000 feet because I have no frame of reference for this.
All right, Jake says 2,000. Dan, you said what?
Denver is 3,000, right? So I'm going to go with...
Denver's 5.
Yeah.
It's Mile High City.
So I'm saying lower than Denver, higher than what Jake just did.
Well, give us a number. Because he hasn't gone yet.
3,069.
Whoa.
3,269.
Like?
Give me 4,200.
Look at that.
Are you ready? 6,759 feet.
Higher than Denver.
Yep.
I hope nobody falls off.
We've been above 6,000 feet, I think, since before Albuquerque, maybe. We've been above 6,000. That's the reason the generator's not happy with us. But
okay.
Well,
there's a mildly interesting fact.
There you go.
From
Mike off.
That's why when you play golf in Arizona, you got to club down.
That's important.
Ball carries about a club length.
Are we in playback mode or no?
I mean, should Todd Helton be in the Hall of
No.
Fame?
Playback mode.
Like, can we play video?
No.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure before I throw it to it. We can play some of this stuff tomorrow. What do you want to do here first for some sports? You want to talk Olympics? Sure.
Oh, wait.
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
what is in the sports bag today?
Well, there are a few different things from the Olympics. There's a guy who banged his junk on the pole vault thing. That's all the rage.
That was pretty huge.
As it
Are
were.
we done with the boxing thing? That's cool now? Everybody's good?
Yeah, that's just...
We're good?
You know
We
how this
moved on?
works. Got to move on. There's something else. I bet there's a caravan somewhere.
Okay, good, yeah. It's on its way.
Yeah.
It'll get here around November.
Yeah, for sure.
We never really got to, I believe this happened like maybe right before the weekend, but some of the triathletes were getting out of the swim portion of the Seine and puking. Did you note that?
I did, and I have also an update for you on that.
Huh.
Let me pull the article back up here. We had one of the swimmers. Let me see here real quick. I saw them all vomiting, yeah. One of the swimmers, Belgian, Claire Michel, has been hospitalized due to E. coli infection just days after her first swim in that river. That unfortunately means that her team has to forfeit their place in the triathlon that occurred today.
Who could have seen it coming? $1.5 billion, if you're complaining about our government spending. Yeah. But you know what? It brings a lot of revenue, the Olympics. Because otherwise, who would go to Paris?
Yeah.
Who is ever going to Paris?
Yeah, it's like a national pride thing that makes no sense. No sense at all. But yeah, you saw it whenever you saw people vomiting. And also, when people were jumping in the water, it looked worse than Granbury.
Yeah.
Like if you jump into a thing of water and the splash is brown, probably shouldn't be in that water. And yeah, now they're all sick and
Pass away.
again, who could have seen it coming? But yeah, Anthony Amarati is the French pole vaulter, even though I just did an Italian accent, who banged his D on the...
His Justin Thoreau-sized
Can I give you a hot take?
piece of man meat.
I'm going to give you a hot take.
Okay.
I don't think that wiener's that big. I think
Justin Thoreau?
No, I haven't seen... His is definitely.
Oh, okay.
But this one, I feel... And here's how I know. Because the shot of Justin Thoreau's, his is pointing down.
And this guy's is like out.
It's kinda
so
just
like
too-
he gets excited when he's pole vaulting.
It's kind of down, but I feel like he just needed to do a tuck. Like I feel like he's semi-erect, first of all.
Yeah.
And then it like poked out. When all you really needed to do was like, you know how we've all done it. You pull and let it kind of fall flat, right? If it's flat, he's not hitting this thing.
Yeah, but you don't
I've
know the
watched
world
it
of
100 times.
I know. For research.
Yeah.
For the show. But yes, it is kind of amazing. Like that's what he hit the pole. He hit it with the pole with his pole, and
Yeah.
then that's it.
I
Like
feel,
see, and all those years you've been praying, wishing that you had a big wiener, and now see what that you couldn't have been a pole vaulter.
well, I can tell you without a doubt. I haven't done the research. I know that his Instagram increased by about tenfold.
Yeah. He could get on OnlyFans tomorrow.
He probably could, but
Are there dudes on OnlyFans?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay, that's a big thing. You've heard.
I promise you, he will make money off this. Whether it's condoms, whether it's ED or sex pills or something, I promise you. There's a forward-thinking company out there, or marketing or ad agency that can make this work, especially in France.
I'm very
They're
It's interesting
constantly
how
thinking about sex.
obviously the instant celebrity cashing in on their instant celebrity is a very interesting topic.
Well,
like you look at.
I have more on that tomorrow because I just listened to an hour of Bill Maher telling Hawk Tua lady how to handle her fame.
That's who I wanted to think of the comparison between Hawk Tua girl, who seems to be more of a, even though she got famous for talking about how to spit on that thing, seems to be more of a down home. She's not going to accept OnlyFans type stuff. Like she doesn't want to get naked on the internet or capitalize on that part of her person. She wants to somehow profit off of being a small town girl type thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
Bergoli,
Bad Bobby,
yeah,
instantly went to OnlyFans or whatever it was and was making $1 million a day.
Yeah.
Like right away, and right now she's worth $40 million.
And even more recently, Oilers lady did Playboy.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Whatever Playboy is. So she went in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, the Danielle Bergoli thing, I mean, she immediately was, like, in the club. You know, the TMZ taking pictures of her, hopping on OnlyFans. You're
And
right.
she loved it. But
it's working
Hawk
out well
Tua
for her.
girl could have done that.
Yeah, but times could get desperate, I suppose, but based on listening to an hour-long interview with her, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. Based on, I've watched a couple of, like, little videos she's put out about her. Lives with her grandma and this and that, and she's just a hometown girl, small-town girl.
What if we find out
Which
that
is why it's funny listening to her talk to Bill Maher, who is the most insufferable human being on the planet right now.
He's not good.
Would you be disappointed if she's never Hawk Tua'd on that thing?
No, you don't know about that without...
Yeah, them small-town girls.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
It's like Catholic girls, right? It's like
I've never known of that world.
More the girls that you think don't.
You went to a small private school. Won't you weigh in here? That you already did. That's just you said enough right there.
You said enough.
Yeah.
Tell us about Olympic golf, which, as I told Blake, I think it was Sunday when we were leaving lunch, and they had the TVs on. I told Blake, I found out today that the Olympics have singles individual golf, or like competitive, non-team golf, basically.
It's not team.
No, I mean Scotty won. And I'm looking up there, I'm like, he's crying.
So why wouldn't it be like Team America as a
like
team?
the Ryder Cup type competition. I have no idea.
All right.
I didn't know that.
So it's only one guy from America is in?
Yeah, Scotty.
One guy makes it. We have one representative for our country.
Did Tiger not do this?
I don't ever remember Tiger in Olympic golf.
If he did, I don't remember it. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why it blew up was, and this now after the fact is not as big of a deal as I thought it was, but a South Korean golfer, Tom Kim, was seen like sitting in the trailer. And if you watched enough Sunday golf, if you're in the trailer, then you have a chance to win. So when he finished his round, he was in the top 3. He was on the medal stand. And South Korean rules, Jake, you have to help me with this. If you medal, you do not have to do your military service.
They have a compulsory 2 years.
But if you medal, you don't. That's
No.
great.
And I knew about this.
Although I thought it's supposed to be an honor.
I knew
to
about
serve my
this
country.
because whenever the Rangers acquired Shin Soo Choo, and I started reading about Shin Soo Choo,
My neighbor.
he was required to serve 2 years in South Korea military service before he turned 30. That would have been in 2012. But he was exempted from that because he was on the Korean national baseball team that won the gold medal in the 2010 Asian Games.
Okay.
It seems so old world, but yeah, so this guy's sitting there.
Thinking that he may
Yes,
not have to
God,
go
I
to
don't
boot
have to
camp
go to
and
boot camp.
whatnot.
Like, how kick-ass is the South Korea military? Like, do they really? Come on.
And it's not going to be all. You don't probably you got a boot camp, but you're not going to have a gun. You could be like, a cook.
Yeah.
Well, he was sitting in there thinking, hey, I may be good here. And then Scotty Scheffler just demolishes.
So he has to go to the military?
Yeah.
And he has to go to the military.
Oh, based on
Now-
like Scheffler.
But that's how it was happening, like in real time. Like
Can you imagine how beaten he is?
That's what I'm
Scheffler passes him, and then he falls off the medal stand. He ended up finishing 8th.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as bad as you had originally thought
Yes,
it
if he was 4th.
Right. But
There was a moment where he was dreaming about,
yes,
God, I'm not going to have to sleep on a cot.
That's pressure
Yeah.
to play golf to get out of that.
It's the closest thing we have to like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
and so he doesn't have to enlist for a while. It says if he can win a medal in 2026 or 2028, then he can avoid it.
Because I think you have to do it before 30.
So they have golf every 2 years?
Did not know that.
This says at the 2026 Asian Games.
Yeah, so I think they give you a couple shots at it, like the one that Shin Soo Choo
That seems
won.
to reduce the field. The Asian Games doesn't seem
think.
like the world.
No. Let's see how many were in this one.
A lot of white,
I don't know, bro. The one that
lot of white
Shin Soo Choo won was 45 nations.
All right.
But speaking of, it's not the world. The man who won the 100-meter race and is now the fastest man in the world, Noah Lyles, the American. Have you seen the finish?
Yes, controversy.
Controversy, but they got it right.
Like the announcers did not get it right, correct?
No, they did not.
But it has something to do with like the clavicle passing the finish line.
Yeah, and they have these things are
Like
You know,
Justin
the
Thoreau can't
technology's-
win based on.
or he might have. You just like push forward. The technology's such that I believe it. You know, I watched a guy who helped make it for Intel. Put up a bunch of videos about how it all works. So he actually came out of the blocks with the worst start. His reaction time was tied for worst in the 8-man field. This has been a problem for him. It cost him in the first round. It cost him in the semis. But, you know, he won by, I believe, a fifth of what it takes for you to blink, is what I saw. First American gold medalist in the 100 meters in 20 years. It's also funny because now people are, like, bringing back up photos of when Usain Bolt was dominating and then putting it next to his picture for the fastest man in the world. And there's, like, 4 guys right on the line. And in Usain's, there's, like, I don't know, like a 6-meter difference between him and the field.
Like he was destroying. Yeah.
He's laughing. But this one was particularly interesting because last year, Lyles kind of popped off at the mouth a little bit about the idea that the NBA finals winner is the world champion. You know, he competes against athletes all over the world. So he's a very arrogant guy. He talks a lot, which, you know, I'll take. But, he just straight up said, here, maybe I can just play it from here.
I remember this.
Yeah.
I remember it being a thing, not really paying
I
attention.
wonder if
Like
it'll play from here because I didn't see the audio.
some guy I don't know.
Okay, so basically he just said, the thing that hurts me most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong, I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. We are the world, because he had just won a world championship. And that pissed off a lot of NBA players, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Of course, a lot of this took place on social media. Kevin Durant said, somebody help this brother. Let's see.
Kevin Durant will get on social media.
Then Booker replied, Damian Lillard, Aaron Gordon. Yeah, so the funny thing is that they now had it kind of out for him, which is weird because they went to, hate watch him.
Oh, the guys on the Olympic basketball team.
Yeah.
All right.
And at first they thought he had lost. And
so they're cheering that.
Which, I mean, it's...
Where is he from?
America. I don't remember.
Oh, Lyle?
He runs for the U.S.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what made it...
but they were rooting against him.
I mean, some of them were like, hey, people were, tweeting at NBA players, and they were like, hey, give him his props. Give him his props. He won. He won. He's the gold medalist. But it's just funny, and he talks so much trash. He is an Adidas athlete, and after he won, he's like, it's time for me to have my own sneaker. Spikes don't move anything. He's like, because I guess he has his own track shoe.
Okay.
He's like, I need my own sneaker. Let's get on it. And yeah,
All right. Well,
he won.
Congrats to Go America. That's what I say.
I guess. The
greatest country in the world, Jake. If you don't like it,
why don't you get out?
That's right.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Uncle Hotmail. Hey.
You guys gonna bet on Castellanos to hit a home run tonight?
What's going on now?
The stock market crashed.
Did it really?
Big time.
They said almost $2 trillion has been lost today in the stock market. And he seems to capitalize on traumatic events. So he is the most bet person to hit a home run tonight. You remember the last time he did it was when Biden got COVID. And everyone said, oh, yeah, bet on him. And then he did.
Why don't you tell me before the stock market crashes?
Well,
How come my stock guy doesn't tell me?
Because we're in the crypto market.
Oh, that'll be stable.
Yeah, is that bad?
I mean, a lot of people obviously knew this was going to happen on Friday, but when Berkshire Hathaway sold off $1 gazillion of assets for liquidity, it'll be back, dude. You know how this goes.
Yeah.
Just don't look at it.
I don't. And then you guys just told me about it. Now I'm all concerned.
Just bet on Castellanos tonight.
Okay. So
the quickest way to not have to worry about losing your retirement, don't have a retirement plan.
Oh, okay.
You've come to the right place.
Check out the big brain here.
So Zach sent us something last week and said, could you play this today? This guy is ZK Mavs on Twitter, M-A-V-Z.
He's been on Kimmel's show.
For real?
Yeah. It was like when the Mavs were in the finals.
Well, this is what he sent us.
Hey, Jake. This is Major Applewhite of the South Alabama Jaguars, formerly the Houston Cougars. And being a fan of the feline, I heard my friend in Texas has gotten himself a 4-figure cat for his birthday. Not going to ask what kind of cat costs 4 figures, but very pleased in the naming of said cat. So just wanted to call, wish you a happy birthday. Hope everything goes well. Take care of little Major, and have a good one.
That's so cool.
That's right. Today is the birthday of Jake Kemp.
Oh, happy birthday,
thank you,
Jake.
Zach. That is the alternate name
All right.
for the cat. My daughter will at times call the cat Major Applewhite. Okay. Hey, thanks, fellas.
Win, win, win.
Thanks to Zach for that.
I told my daughter like 2 years ago that if we got another dog, she's like, what would we name it? And I said, I would name it Major Applewhite. And I told her the story of the legend. I'm going to play something else for you guys here real quick, just since you brought up the cat and I brought up my daughter. This is a viewer mail from my wife. They went swimming yesterday at her mom's house. We're working on swimming without the floaties. COVID really jacked us up because we started swim lessons early, and then you couldn't go for like a year and a half.
Just do like my old man did.
Throw
me in.
That is what you do at swim lessons. It's traumatizing. Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, you'll take like a 6-month-old and chuck them in there like they're garbage man. It's crazy. You should see a video of this sometime.
Does Carter swim?
No.
Okay.
No.
Especially with the twos, right?
Yeah. That would be a problem. So, you know how like when you were a kid, you wanted to be a pro ball player?
Uh-huh.
Or you wanted to be a play-by-play guy?
Okay.
Probably same thing for all of us, right? Maybe you wanted to be an actor. Maybe you wanted to be on television of some sort. Maybe the news. Well, this is what kids' brains have turned into now. As she has just swam from end to end of the pool, she sees mom is videoing. Oh, good Lord, what happened?
What did you do?
What my name is?
What happened?
Did you slow it down?
No. But the other ones are fine.
Yeah.
Did you preview this video?
Well, it's not a video. I ripped the audio from the video and then I edited it and it was fine a minute ago. The other ones are fine. Let's see how this sounds.
It's Nora. Can you spell Nora with me? N-O-R-A. Nora.
Good job.
Hold on.
Bye. See you soon for my next video. Bye.
Golly.
Yeah. Yeah, the original one.
She's already ready.
Yeah. No, the other one's even funnier because she's giving instructions.
She didn't say hit that bell?
No.
Like and subscribe.
Okay, well, that's why I'm trying to find the other one. Let me see if I can.
That's great. Let's get her to do that for our videos.
Yeah, she definitely can. But yeah, she just straight up looks at the camera and she knows that they have YouTube videos where you.
There will be a YouTube
where
class
you spell things
by
out.
the time she's in college.
I 100% believe that. I 100% believe that. So that's what kids are doing these days. They all want to be on YouTube, and their brains have been
Like
absolutely
us.
warped by it.
Kids are just following us.
What is it doing? What does she sound
Was
like?
she shot in the dart or in the neck with the dart?
Why is it doing that? Why?
Also, Garrett Jost gave a birthday shout out to
Good dude.
Jake.
Man.
That's Blake's nemesis.
It is?
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah.
He says you're 39. Also, so Blake and I got you a gift. We had planned this like a month ago. And Blake reminded me about what your favorite book was. And he said, let's read it. Let's both read it. And then we could give a dual book report on Jake's favorite book. First of all, this better be your favorite book.
It's a top 2. If it's not one, it's
Here
not
he
quite.
goes.
No, it's. I mean, I've
already read The Looming Tower.
Here's the thing: manufacturing consent is not really like a narrative.
Oh, I've read that.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. But as far as a narrative story, this has got to be the best.
Okay.
I read it in. It doesn't matter. I was about to sound like a douchebag.
So,
can't help it.
It's called The Places in Between by Rory Stewart. Author of The Prince of the Marshes. That sounds pretty gay, but anyway. And then I got on the RV the other day. You weren't on yet, and I said to Blake, I'm like, "Hey, did you read that book?" He's like, "No." I go, "I didn't either, but I brought it." So you can see, I'm right there. The bookmark is right there, right at the beginning of the book. But how's this for a birthday present?
That's
we
pretty
kind
awesome,
of
dude.
said we were
Happy
gonna.
birthday.
We thought about you.
It's pretty awesome.
We thought about you a month ago.
Yeah.
Now we didn't really do anything.
So next
Had a lot
time,
going on.
next time Blake has
Got
a
a lot
birthday,
going
we'll
on.
read a Danielle Steele,
Right.
something
Or
steamy.
a Tyrannosaurus
Lovers.
sex book.
It's a really good book. It's about a guy who, this is when things were really hot in Afghanistan. He's an Irish politician. Might have been an ambassador or something at that point. He was in the military. And people don't really think about this or know this, but because of the media we consume, maybe again to go back to manufacturing consent. But in Muslim culture, they're actually one of the most welcoming cultures in the world, or religions. Like if somebody comes to your house and needs to stay, they will not turn you away. Like they are bound by their covenant with their God to let you in and feed you. So this dude, because I think he knew a little bit of Farsi, knew a little bit of the other languages, he walked across Afghanistan like during the war. Walked. And would just go to people's houses and try to understand what their whole bit was. I mean,
I'd love to see his steps.
Yeah, probably
his
pretty
iPhone.
heavy. Yeah, probably pretty heavy.
I'm trying to get 5,000 a day.
I mean, I told
That's
you
it?
guys. Oh, sorry, Dan.
It's tough around now, I mean,
No,
right?
yeah, I know.
I only got 4 yesterday. You saw me out walking.
It's a really, really good book.
We got some steps on the ghost tour.
It's not that long. We did. We did.
I got some steps with Matt outside here a little while ago. Hey, my name is Lindsay. My boyfriend, Connor Genovese.
Genovese.
Loves your podcast. It would mean the world if you gave him a birthday shout-out. His 30th birthday on August 5th. Lindsay Garland. Says here she's from Texas State University. BA in psychology. Do you know her?
No. I'm quite a bit older, but happy birthday, Connor.
Uncle Hotmail.
Oh.
After business day cutoff day 1, DF number 629 here. Monday is my Randy White birthday. I'm proud to share a birthday with huge celebrities like Lonnie Anderson, Patrick Ewing, John Olerud, Roman Gabriel, Donovan Lewis, and Jake Kemp.
John Olerud.
Dan Bennett.
Not sure if my wife will wake me up in that special way, but here's hoping Jake does not get woken up in that special way while on the DZRV, unless it's consensual.
I left I left the door kind of propped this morning, and I'm like, oh no, I hope nobody comes in here and none of my friends show up. And then we got on here, and I'm like, I'm going to go take a nap in the back, guys. I'll just be back there relaxing. It's my birthday, and nobody showed up.
Sorry, man.
Nobody.
Day's not over, though.
I thought for sure Matt.
Yeah, but you used my toothbrush, so...
That's true.
You got all the DNA from me you're getting.
I'll give you some DNA from me.
My leaders are the Roast Twins, Blake's Dating Rules, William Pace's hairstylist, and fake Baker Mayfield's giant chip.
Okay.
More ticket expats, maybe just a wee less Sarah Hepola.
It's like once a month.
Wreckham from Phil in Lubbock.
They don't make a lot of fills anymore.
Rob writes, hey, Dan, today is the 22nd birthday of my bonus daughter, Holly Milliron.
What?
Her leaders are combative Charles Haley, Jake's gash-only oil change place.
I'm never going anywhere else. And if I go there and see
a fire hydrant.
Go there and see a dude, I can make it another 1,000 miles.
And Dan's spinoff pod, Bits and Tits. Also, she says more Blake. Keep the hammer down in the DZRV, good buddy. 10-4 Challenger from your pal, Rob Schindler.
Wow.
Right.
Speaking of a man with great pipes.
Elsewhere, we have some DZRV-centric emails.
Just thinking about speaking that language, we showed Brooks Smokey and the Bandit, and he loved it.
Really?
Wow.
And his takeaway from that movie was, they lose the top half of their car, and the son has to hold the hat of Jackie Gleason. And so now Brooks just wants to hold my hat.
What's wrong with
Anywhere
that?
we go. But no, he loved the movie. Loved Fred.
Mark Brasher says regarding DZRVs, if it was an electric vehicle, this could be a DZEV RV. Blake could play his little video games on the DZRV TV. If Jake gets his old radio from the Chevy Blazer that his parents sold without his permission, it would be the DZCB RV. And if you make a road trip mixtape, you get Raymond to sell the DZRV CD. What's that website again for Dumb Zone merch?
What is it, Dan?
And then Justin said you could have TC interview Marty B from the DZRV from a shitty 3G connection.
What would that be?
Or TC interviews MB3 if there's a DZRV Ouija board.
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
That one got me.
Or he wants to put it on a onesie so the children could wear a DZRV onesie.
Dude, this is literally just how Eminem raps.
Or if you write off the DZRV on the 1040 EZ.
Yeah, tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
Look how tickled he is.
And Ashley says, please do a segment on the new New York Yankee third baseman.
Oh, yeah. There he is, baby.
Right here?
Yeah.
Josrado Prince Hermes Arrington Chisholm Jr. Can you believe there are two people with that name? That's Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Yeah.
From Ashley.
Yeah, and I got to admit.
Needs to grow up, Ashley.
I got to admit, I feel like this is the one blind spot I have had in dirtiness, because when he had like a 2-home-run night in one of his first games.
Yeah.
And the internet was alive with Chisholm jokes. And I lived near the Chisholm Trail my whole life. Never once thought about it. Even used the word jism. Just never was able to flush the oop.
It's hard to believe for me.
Then I meet Dan, and
I never drove by it without getting excited. And then Buenos Dias, Uncle Hot Gash. Moosing is fun. She had no idea. LOL.
All right.
And then he says, you guys should also check out the Dennis Rodman with the Mavericks minus Jaden Hardy. More Blake from Day 6 DF number 3011, Eric. And that sent me down a rabbit hole the other day. Maybe yesterday on the DZRV.
Oh.
What is this?
He's 70.
Oh.
So Dennis Rodman on the Mavericks apparently wore number 70. However, when he first got to the Mavericks, he requested number 69.
Mm-hmm.
And it was turned down. Did you guys know that?
No.
Like, there was a 2020 article that I read yesterday by Tim Cato and Saad Youssef. And it was the oral history of Dennis Rodman's 1 month with the Mavericks. So this was his last stop of his Hall of Fame career. And this is Mark Cuban just bought the team.
Needed a gimmick.
Midway through a season. Kind of like this year. Sold the team midway through a season. But yes, 10 straight years of losing. They had started playing a little bit better. Cubes, the huge basketball fan, but not really, an actual basketball guy at the time.
Right.
Was just looking at the numbers. He loves to crunch numbers. He would go on to, be very instrumental in the NBA, looking even deeper into numbers. But he was just noticing the main thing that they can't do is rebound. They were getting out-rebounded every night. And so he went to Nelly saying, let's sign Dennis Rodman. He's out there. So they did on January 25th, 2000. Nelly didn't want to just add him. He put it to a vote for the whole team. And this is Dirk, Nash, and Finley are there, but they're not superstars.
Yeah.
Finley was good, but he was nowhere near an NBA superstar. Dirk was still, you didn't know who he was.
21 at the time.
And Nash wasn't even, close to being what Nash would become. So it's just a bad team, and you didn't know how good those guys would be. You certainly wouldn't have added him if you would have thought that. But Dirk was a Bulls fan growing up, as probably every player of that age was, right? Michael Finley was from Chicago, so they voted yes. It was apparently very, very close. Like Sean Bradley voted no.
No way.
But he barely got on the team with the team voting. Cuban also, big into PR. So he thought that could help and everything. And really, it did, get them on SportsCenter every night. And, people were buzzing around here. I remember arguing with Bob about it. It was a big deal. It was like, let's talk Mavericks. And nobody was talking Mavericks. So for what that's worth, who knows? And in fact, okay, so going back through this article, they note that Michael, at the time, the year 2000, the two most recognizable basketball players in the world were probably Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman. Like, he superseded, he was pop culture.
Sure.
Your
Madonna,
your mom, your grandma, everybody knew,
Carmen Electra,
right, who that was.
the dress.
They say he was quiet as a mouse. He wasn't the loud guy who wanted all the attention. He didn't practice.
I remember Dirk saying that. You guys have asked Dirk about Dennis Rodman before. He's like, he kind of just did whatever he wanted. Film, not happening.
He didn't shower with the guys.
Yep. Remember that.
On the road, they found a different locker room for him. In fact, often he would just throw on sweats over his shorts and just go home. He wouldn't even shower at all.
Yeah, Dirk said he would shower before the game, right? While they were watching film.
Yeah,
Was that right?
I think that's right.
Yeah, whenever you guys asked him about it.
One of the assistant coaches told Saad before a road game in Phoenix, I went to check to see Nelly in the coach's locker room. Nelly's sitting in a chair. Dennis Rodman is sitting in a towel because he would change in the coach's room because he didn't just want to be in the room with the players. He said, I don't shoot, so I don't need to practice.
I mean, fair.
He would walk in 10 minutes before the game started.
Wow.
And put on his uniform.
Okay.
Nelly would be, that's right, okay, here's the Dirk thing. Nelly would be speaking at the whiteboard, and Dennis Rodman would walk by him and go and take a shower while he was giving the game plan. He didn't want to see the game plan. He would go out, do a couple layups, and he was ready to play. And he would inevitably get 15 rebounds. He is currently the all-time leading rebounder in rebound per minute for the Dallas Mavericks. Like, he got 15 rebounds a game that year.
Yeah, 15 a game in 30 minutes, 31 minutes. So yeah, that's not going to be topped.
But he often wouldn't even run down to the offensive side. Like, he would stop at half court and be like, well, I'm not in the offense anyway. It doesn't matter.
Man, is there film of these games?
The thing is, and I couldn't find film of the introductory press conference because they have a number 69 Dennis Rodman jersey. So they showed it to the media. He held it up, all that kind of stuff. Now, the thought is, this article doesn't know for sure, that Mark Cuban might have that jersey at his house.
There's almost no doubt, right?
You know that Mark Cuban did, let him live in his guest house for a time.
I remember hearing that.
But then there were complaints that was a salary cap violation, so he had to stop doing that. And in fact, I think one of the Mavericks, was it Greg Buckner? Also, Cuban was giving him a car. He had to give the car back because of the Dennis Rodman shining a light on that. Yes, Greg Buckner. I had Cuban's car. When he got in trouble with Cuban's guest house, I got in trouble with Cuban's car, so I had to go buy a car. And he was bitching about it. He goes, Mark Cuban's guest house was 5,000 square feet. I had a tiny little car. Then what preceded his release was Cuban was obviously, he was the first of the new age owners.
Yeah.
So he didn't wear a suit. He was wild. He was sitting next to the team. He would poke his head in the huddle and all that.
The constant berating publicly of the officials.
So on March 7th, remember Rodman is signed in January, March 7th, he says to the Associated Press, Dennis Rodman says, Cuban doesn't need to be hanging around the players like he's a coach or something. That's like Jerry Jones, and it's dumb. That's why the Cowboys went down. He needs to be the owner, step back, and put people in who can get this team in the right direction.
Hire a basketball man.
And
yeah, that'll probably do it.
So he got released. Cuban says, it didn't matter. His comments, I didn't care about that. I just cared about winning. We're losing then to set a bad example. After Rodman left, the Mavericks won 15 of their last 21 games, a 9-1 run to end the season. And a lot of people then afterwards said the Dennis Rodman being here and then leaving kind of galvanized us. Like we realized, we can do, whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
And so they actually look at it as a positive right after that. Like that actually did help us. So it's a yay, boo, yay.
And then Rodman went to North Korea.
And then Robin, that's a whole different story. That we'll go into that rabbit hole at some other point. But there you go. There's
Nice.
today's viewer mail. And today's rabbit hole. How about DZRV news?
Sure.
Unless we had...
No, it works. I do want to give some news on our schedule this week. How about that? It's going to be a little wonky. Today's episode will be a little bit shorter because we can't move and record.
Yeah, we got to get out of here soon, right?
Yeah, probably pretty soon. Tomorrow's will probably be later drop but we will be parked at training camp, hopefully. And we're going to do an episode on Wednesday. But they're going to come out at weird times some days. But our plan is to do an episode every day, and they will all be free to anyone who wants to listen. If you're a free listener, which means you can get Monday, you'll get Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesdays will be Patreon only. But we will have 5 shows. So
6 with the weekly wrap-up.
there you go. And maybe we'll pop up and do something crazy outside of that. Who knows? What do you say?
Unlikely.
I'll go live from the hot tub.
There'll be no late night shows with me.
I don't think any of us were thinking that was happening.
I was kind of hoping for some Saturday Night Fever out here.
Ooh.
Well, Saturday is different.
Oh.
So yeah, the drop times will be a little bit weird because we have to work around the Cowboys and road. I'm going to start off with a story that I'd never, ever would have done had I not been in the lobby this morning working where they had the TV on and it was on the local news. This story is not even really local in any way to Albuquerque, but I just happened to see it. Are you guys aware that there's a guy who stole and destroyed a statue of Jackie Robinson in Wichita, Kansas?
Isn't that where he's from, too?
I think so, right?
Was this recently?
It was in January.
Okay. I think we did talk about it.
No, he's from Georgia.
Oh.
But I thought he was from the Midwest. But in any case.
Did we talk about this?
If we did, the guy's now been sentenced.
All right.
15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he was charged with felony theft, aggravated criminal damage to property, and giving false information in connection with the crime. Investigators believe that there were more people involved. This actually...
And what did Ethan Couch get?
He had influenza.
All comes back to that.
So a lieutenant with the Wichita police said, basically this was, not to say the guy didn't know it was Jackie Robinson, but it wasn't like it was some sort of hate crime. Like the guy's like, oh, I hate Jackie Robinson. They reinstitute the color barrier. They were literally simply looking to scrap it for metal. Like he was doing
15 years.
He was doing a Bubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, his attorney said that he's an addict. He's had number of drug offenses.
Oh, okay.
And he said there's no way that he should be in jail for 15 years. Like, make a mandatory inpatient rehab program for him. Make him take drug tests. Give him a few months. But 15 years for stealing a statue is crazy.
Wonder what you get for defacing the 9/11 memorial in Wichita, Kansas. Whew. They throw the book at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like a federal crime.
I'm not going to find out.
Because it's actual debris.
Yeah, I wonder. This is a rude thing to do. But I'm doing it to foster brotherhood, community. We're with you. We stand with you in North Texas as you deal with the hottest week of the year.
Oh, no.
It's actually kind of nice out here in Flagstaff right now.
Okay, you don't have to lean into it.
Just mentioning.
No humidity. Sprinkled on us a little bit.
Yeah, like
it's the humidity, really, that gets you.
Yeah.
You laugh, but I mean, we stepped out into 92 in Amarillo, and I'm like, I can deal with this. Not humid at all. It's going to be 105 on Wednesday and Thursday.
Like Friday was the hottest day of the year, so every day is the hottest day of the year?
105 on Wednesday and Thursday, 103 on Friday. The temperatures will feel like around 108. You know why, Blake?
Humidity?
Nope.
The heat dome. Heat dome. Damn.
You've entered the heat dome. That, of course, is a high-pressure atmospheric system that traps heat
This was made up in 2023.
I wonder how the grid's doing. Probably better since we left. We use a lot of electricity up there in the den.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
When are you going to get a generator?
The time he'll get it right now.
Scene brought me a portable one.
Oh, really?
Which Wire Will said he can hook up, and it might run at least the air conditioner for the den. Like it's a small guy.
Well, at least one member of your family will be comfy then.
He said he could hook it up to make sure our refrigerators stay on, or the den air conditioner.
Den air conditioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about the grid. I mean, I would assume I would get an email or see it on Twitter if we were having problems.
78 degrees currently in Flagstaff.
Again, I shouldn't have done this story because I knew you were going to do this.
They're just going to control your thermostat.
I'm saying to people that I am with you. Okay? I might find a sauna.
73 in Oxnard. Let's get there.
That's why the Cowboys fall apart every year.
Yeah. Saw if Jimmy would have him training out in Austin.
Yep. So do you guys remember us talking about this bill that the Texas legislature passed in 2023? It is known as the Securing Children Online Through Parental Empowerment Act. And what it means is you can't get a social media account without some form of consent from a parent or guardian before creating the account.
The Parental Empowerment Act? What is this? It's a Texas thing?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
That doesn't seem bad.
I was going to say, I got a hot take. I kind of think your parents should have to say yes before you can create a Facebook or an Instagram.
Well, what if they just don't give you
I think
iPhone?
Yeah. I mean, that's one way. But, you could still somehow work around it. You use a friend's phone and log into your account when you're at a sleepover.
There's going to be how are you going to make sure it's the parent?
I don't in practice know that.
I feel like this is all performative.
Upload a driver's license or something?
That might be it.
Still.
Maybe you have to send their way around that. Maybe you have to send it to a parent email, and somehow there's a verification process there.
This ain't going to work. It's just...
Well, there's actually...
And what happened I thought we were banning TikTok 5 years ago, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay.
I do know that they got it to where if you are at the Capitol...
I'm hot.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
Or that's why I wore a dry fit today for big homie Jared Sandler's charity, because I knew I was going to be sweating.
I might go shirt off.
You should.
Please do.
If on your state-issued phone, you can't have TikTok. I do know that.
If you work for the state?
Yeah.
Well, I thought we're about freedom, too. Damn. It's all intersecting lines here.
The reason this is back in the news is
I'll never mandate a mask, but I'll mandate you can't use TikTok.
Don't look under the hood.
Right.
2 big tech industry groups have filed a lawsuit in Texas to block this from going into effect.
Big tech.
Big tech versus big government.
Versus big techs.
Lawmakers said children's overexposure to digital platforms resulted in increased rates of self-harm, suicide, substance abuse, sexual exploitation, human trafficking, and other mental health issues.
Okay. So...
I do think social media is really bad for
I do too, but also they'll throw in human trafficking, and I don't think there's anything to back that up.
Yeah, you have this weird thing where you think human trafficking is I've noticed not really happening.
Not at the prevalence. Well, I've listened to a couple of informative podcasts about that.
The Backpage one?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't get that far then.
Yeah, a lot of the human trafficking stuff is just... To me, it's like the transgender stuff. That there are isolated cases, but if there was a prevalence of transgender, like dudes becoming girls and then dominating sports, you're hearing about every case.
Yeah.
Because
hurry into the Hyundai get
the trans movement would be hardcore on every one of those, but you only know about the 1 or 2. Now, on those 1 or 2, they're right. You shouldn't have, if you were a dude and you've built up muscle as a dude and then all of a sudden you become a lady, all right, sorry, you can't. One of the things you can't do is be in, high-level competitive sports. Sorry. So they're right on that. But where they're wrong is that it's happening all over the place, and it's a huge problem. So, that's the problem here. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah, and I know the thing that's going to be
Strawberries?
weird about it is just
I
the
think you were
next
gonna
time
take your shirt off.
The next time I am with certain members of my family, I know it's going to come up, and it's like I feel like one of my semi-decent qualities, and people would refute this because I've heard it before. I know I don't know a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything about genetics at all. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess the people who are really into genetics and studying these things have said that this is actually just a random thing that happens, a mutation. But like the people on Fox News are not willing to hear that. They're like, XY chromosome is a man. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, there's a study where they studied 10,000 people and figured out that, through rigorous scientific
12
method.
them,
Yeah.
The big deal in Oxnard is the low is going to be 62.
That is a dick move.
I didn't.
Did you bring a light jacket?
No.
Dude, I told you before we left.
I got one for you, little buddy.
Over the years, I've bought 2 jackets out there just because I would forget as well.
I brought our special business lawyer Dustin hoodie.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. I brought a sweatshirt and a jacket, so you could borrow one.
Yeah, I messed up. I packed too late.
A woman was arrested after an hours-long standoff right there at 183 and Brown Trail, Dan.
All right.
This happened, I believe, yesterday. Happened on Sunday afternoon. They tried to pull a woman over who was speeding in the express lane, also known as the Dan McDowell.
Boy, so how fast is she going?
Doesn't say. Fast enough where they were going to pull her over.
Don't you think it's almost
like the Autobahn?
Okay, let me talk to my friend here. Blake.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Should you even have a cop in the express lane? Like, you're paying extra to be in here.
I've definitely thought that.
Like,
maybe
they're probably like, I can't go over there because it's bottled up.
Well, you're right. I mean,
so
that doesn't
they
make
can't
a lot
speed if they want. So I'll go over here, and now you're going 90 in the express lane. It's 75.
But what if there's an emergency in the regular traffic lanes? They can't get there.
Who can't?
The cop. They're screwed. They should not be in the express lane.
Right.
Yeah.
Counterpoint: if they got to get somewhere, there's 5 miles away and it's bottlenecked. It's probably case by case. But my thing is, maybe they were in regular traffic and then she zips by and they were close to an entry point. I don't know, but they tried to pull her over. She refused, and in fact called the Bedford Police Dispatch on her own and said, "I got a gun."
Okay.
You got a name? She sounds awesome.
Yeah. Let's get her on.
Yeah, I'm sure she's a real catch. Name has not been released.
They're trying to keep her from us, Blake.
It's too awesome. She calls the cops. This is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon and says, "I got a gun." So they close down the freeway. SWAT team. She stops. SWAT team tries to negotiate with her for several hours. What a waste of time.
Sounds like a woman.
No doubt. Were they trying to figure out what to have for dinner? And eventually the SWAT team just got tired of it and just hit her with tear gas. And
You know what? You can call me Shalonda.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You got an update?
Yeah.
This story doesn't have her name. But the freeway was closed.
She could be on mugshotties.
The freeway was closed from 12:45 to 3:15. Completely closed.
Man.
So I don't know what happens. Like, are they diverting you? But what if you're past the diversion point? You just got to sit there? This psycho's up here? What do
Yeah,
you got?
completely closing a freeway that's a bad bet. I'm going to have to not side with you now, Shalonda.
Do you think she'd be real easygoing in a relationship?
She's got a gun for one thing.
Yeah, I'm very attracted to her.
We talked about this whenever we first heard the idea. I'm going to predict failure unless they would like to have us out to record our highly rated podcast. This new entertainment venue just opened up in Deep Ellum. It's called Good Surf.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It opened, I believe, this week. Now, this article on Dallas Morning News' website, or actually this one's WFA, essentially reads like a press release. But, yeah, it's
Is it like the wave pool at Wet n Wild, but then you can surf in it?
Yes, but they actually have this at Hurricane Harbor if you haven't seen it. Something like it. You know, it's kind of looks like this if you can see
but
it
you
all
can't
from
drink.
right there. You know, there's like a rolling type wave thing, and you just get up on a board and you are stationary on top of it while the No, you definitely can drink.
At Hurricane Harbor?
Oh, yeah, I think
meant
so.
This place for sure. That's the whole allure, I think.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to get drunk and go surfing? Surfing the internet.
They have alcoholic beverages at Hurricane Harbor. Did not know that. You know where else they have it? Most shocking place to me? We've talked about it before.
Church.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
I remember seeing the dads get pictures of Keystone when I was a kid. Thought like, oh, God.
Dude, when's the last time you got a pitcher?
I have. It's been at least 10 years.
But man, that used to be the biggest player.
Oh yeah. It's been at least 10 years.
God, I love the pitcher.
And
now
popular at the bowling alley.
Very popular at the bowling alley. I feel like a level of sophistication where you're still getting bang for the buck was when we switched from the pitcher to the bucket.
Because it's cooler.
It's a bucket of ice with like
definitely costs more.
Well, because they bring you out the pitcher with frosted glasses, but that's only good for a few minutes.
Yeah. But the bucket is still like a nice little thing, you know. It feels like
Yeah, every one of them is fresh.
Yeah. So yeah, in addition to the surfing thing, obviously they've got.
You like the yard?
Do we have one of
the big tall?
Oh yeah,
long,
I mean yeah. There's
margarita.
No, like
they
the
do
beer.
yard beer. I thought you meant there's a restaurant.
It's just a giant beer, and it's hard to drink. And once you get halfway through, it's just
Hot.
smashes you in the face.
Yeah, it's very inefficient.
We drink one at 10,000 subs.
Yeah. If we get 10,000 subscriptions, for sure.
There's a place in San Diego, I think they have them elsewhere, called the Yard House, and that's like their big deal. Like, all right, cool. You know, I saw Blake actually in a photo at opening day one time with a yard-long margarita.
We need to get him doing something he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, you're doing mushrooms.
Like this
you're
job?
drinking a beer, and then I'll just show up to work that day.
Yeah.
How's that?
So this is in Deep Ellum. They have a bar, big bar. They've got.
It is an ocean bar.
Yeah, they have like a really nice restaurant. So if there was one other entertainment thing for the type of people who would go to this that they could add, not just surfing, not just smash burgers and Asian fusion inspired and cocktails, what other activity would they offer at a place like this in the year 2024?
Pickleball.
Of course. They have
When
4
everything
pickleball
else that
courts.
you're playing with.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 pickleball courts.
You know who's into pickleball?
Dude, perfect.
Did you get that far yet?
No, because of the internet situation.
They
today.
bought a pickleball team.
Yeah, with Dak.
I'm watching the pickleball or the Dude Perfect doc.
It's
You've ruined my kid.
It really hurts how much sense it makes that Dak is tight with Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world.
The one scene.
I got a Dude Perfect ass quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was your screen. I was watching a little bit of it, and I hated seeing Luca on it. Or was it you?
It must have been him.
I don't know that I got to Luca yet. They might have been just flipping thing to thing.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. Cuban's in it.
Yeah.
I don't care about Cuban. I care about Luca.
Yeah, but you know Luca, he's just kind of, you say
the worst
this,
part
this
is that
he's fine. Luca's
without
gonna be
fail,
fine.
they call him the dudes. Like they're talking to like an internet expert. And they're like, I don't know that the dudes are professional athletes, but they are certainly professional entertainers who are pioneering in a new space.
That's
like,
funny
shut
way
up.
about how they start that is like there's this, they're starting it in this alternate universe where there is actually people debating, are they athletes?
Yeah,
like, no one is
the
saying
hot
that.
debate.
People are saying
if
that.
you watch this in 100 years or whatever, you're going to be like, oh, back then people were debating.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
It's like, is golf a sport, of when Tiger first started, is he one of the greatest athletes in the world?
Yeah.
That was a debate. The debate over are Dude Perfect athletes. That's not a debate.
No one's,
Is that the news?
You're done?
I'm done with Dude Perfect.
Yeah, I guess. There you go, Blake. That's it. Blake's done with the news today.
Say do perfect.
Oh.
Say do perfect.
My kid sounds like this.
Today in history.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I know we want to be out of here.
What do you have to say now?
We have like a 2.5 hour drive.
No.
Should we end the show on the road or no? Are we not? Are we not moving?
If you want to watch more of my video.
Are we not mobile?
Let's see what this one was.
Danke. Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe and type for my name if you want to watch more of my video. Bye.
Dude, that's awesome.
Unprompted.
And you have video
Yeah.
of her doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get her, William Pace at the end.
Like and subscribe. Bye.
It's Monday, August 5th. Happy birthday, Jake.
Hey, thanks, man. What do we got going on,
On this
baby?
day in 1861, Abraham Lincoln signed the Revenue Act of 1861, which levied
First of all,
the
happy
first
birthday.
income tax on Americans.
What year?
1861. It was a flat tax of 3% on those making over $800 a year to help fund the Union's Civil War effort.
Needed a war. Hey, can I do one from yesterday real quick? That since we didn't have a show, we definitely would have done if it were a show on the 4th. I believe yesterday was Robin Ventura Nolan Ryan Day.
Oh, was it?
And I found an article from 2016 where a guy wrote about it. And he basically did the people's history of the United States on the fight. Like, we might have sold ourselves a bit of a Paul Bunyan tale on that one if you really break it down.
Really?
No one was going to lose that fight.
Well, yeah, he's admitted that.
He was about to get wrecked.
And then what?
The running back pulled him out of the pile.
Well, Pudge did. Pudge gets to him
Bo
first.
Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson pulled
Bo
him.
Jackson saved his
and
life.
if you really look at the stuff he lands on top of Ventura's head, he's not even really punching him. He's kind of just wrapping his knuckles on his head. And then by the time that they're like almost done, Ventura has Nolan Ryan in like a full seatbelt hold over his shoulder, and he is about to suplex him.
Wow.
And then people get involved and break it up.
Then Bo Jackson saves him?
Bo Jackson, Pudge helped at the beginning, running from the plate. If that had gone on 5 more seconds, the story would not be the story that it is.
Well, it's a great one.
It is a great
I think he
one.
stayed in and pitched. I don't think Nolan Ryan left the game. He pitched with bloody shirt and everything.
I'll just
I
leave
think
it
you're
that way.
confusing that.
Well, just let me live with this, okay?
Well,
Just let me have.
We've done this before.
I know. I just want to have.
And you know when we're going to do it again?
Next
364 days from now.
Let me just have. I don't want Jake to tell me the people's history of Nolan Ryan. I want to believe what I believe. On this day in 1914, what's believed to be the first electric traffic light system installed in Cleveland at the intersection of East 105th and Euclid Avenue. Blake, will you write that down so we can go there? We need to go there.
East 105th and Euclid?
Yes, we need to go there for the first traffic light. The Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
Don't say the last one.
Baker Head. You know when we say the one where the guy abducted the girls?
Oh, you can say that one.
Okay, yeah.
Is there one that we're saving and we don't
Yeah.
want to we don't want to tell people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I don't remember it.
Isn't this fun?
And you guys do, huh?
Yeah.
Remember?
He knows what you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But we kind of got our own little chemistry over
Yeah.
here. That's why we're at the table together, hanging out. You know, go to ghost tours.
Is it associated with number 77?
No.
No.
Okay,
we are
that's
going to
another
the Slovenian National Home.
God, there's another one?
Yeah.
Jeez.
There's just so much to do in Cleveland.
On this day in 1962, South African anti-apartheid activist Nelson Mandela was arrested on charges of leaving the country without a passport and inciting workers to strike. He would then be imprisoned for 27 years. I think that's fair, though. I mean, you can't be inciting workers to strike.
No, definitely not.
On this day in 2014, the San Antonio Spurs hired Becky Hammon as an assistant coach, making her the first woman joining an NBA coaching staff.
Las Vegas Aces.
Oh.
And
Two-time champion, I believe.
Famous wedding on this date. How about this? In 2010, show favorites Jennifer Aniston married Justin Theroux.
Alex Levy. You know they're
How
shooting
could
season
one Alex
4.
be so
Are they
even?
really?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
How tall is she? 5'5"? Because he's like 5'7", right?
Oh, is he
5'6"?
really?
Yeah, that's the one saving grace we have. He's a wee fella.
So his wiener just looks big because of how short he is.
Sure.
Yes.
Former Cowboy Everett McIver is 54.
Scissors.
Former Cowboy Kevin Ogletree
Do you know
is
that whole
37.
story?
Did somebody cut him in line at the barber shop, or like,
Well,
are they getting haircuts up there?
The playmaker accused Everett McIver of cutting in line in the haircut line.
Okay.
But it was probably just that Michael Irvin showed up and was like, I'm Michael Irvin, it's time to do mine. And Everett McIver protested. And to tie it all together, being that it was haircuts, cutting in line, he used a pair of scissors and stabbed him in the neck.
Mm.
The playmaker stabbed McIver.
Sorry, yeah. In Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
That was St. Edwards? I feel like I heard Bob say it was Wichita Falls the other day.
I think it was Wichita Falls. But I'm not going to fight Video Man here. But I'm also not going to not believe Bob when it comes to a sports note.
I remember at one time in my life hoping Kevin Ogletree would be good.
Bruce Coslet is 78. He's a former Bengals tight end.
Yeah, I remember him.
And
coach, right?
He's the Cowboys' offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that's where you really know him.
Yeah, okay.
And I just found out this morning he actually was a player. Hot Olympian
Wichita Falls.
Lolo Jones is 42.
Oh, yeah, man. She had a minute.
Patrick Ewing, 62.
She was very, very attractive.
C.J. Spiller, 37.
Patrick Ewing. This shows up on Twitter every now and then.
Can't read?
No, I wasn't going to say that. Blake.
Clemson running back coach. Oh, who are you saying? C.J. Spiller can't read?
No, Patrick Ewing can't read.
No, I think he can. Well, I don't know.
Oh.
I was going to say, do you all remember
No.
the two teams that Patrick Ewing played for after his 14-year career in New York? At the
I think
ages
this
of
did come up.
38 and 39. I see this stuff on Twitter all the time, and I'm like, what?
Wait, not Toronto. Elijah was Toronto.
Yes, that's a big one.
I think Ewing was Orlando.
Yes. He played one season in Seattle and one season in Orlando.
Where I think I lost Immaculate Grid once because I thought, I'll just put Patrick Ewing for the Knicks. Nope.
Cool.
Anthony Edwards is 23.
Damn, dude, he's throwing it down out there.
Watching him get along with the ping pong team has given me joy.
Yeah. Somebody had a funny tweet about that the other day because I guess he's like quite the man about town with the ladies. Like, even for an NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said something to the effect of like, man, y'all got to watch this team 9 months from now. You're going to have some super freaks on this ping pong team coming out in 17, 18 years.
Mark Mulder is 47. So of Hudson, Mulder, and Zito.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly low WAR.
Really?
So I looked at him today. His WAR is 20.
How many seasons?
8 seasons.
That ain't good.
He burned so bright. Like his first 4 seasons, he was awesome. He was Cy Young runner-up one year. And this must be some Billy Bean genius because got traded and fell right. Like they must have known, like, oh, he's either got something wrong with him or his whatever numbers aren't, his K to walk ratio or K innings pitched or something. But he fell off. So he had 4 dominant years and then just kind of like tailed away and gone by the age of 30. But I would have thought,
yeah,
maybe 200 career wins or nope.
Man, he played like 50 more games in MLB after that.
Isn't that crazy?
A 2-year period.
Maybe
3-year
maybe
period.
injury.
Yeah.
Maybe injury, but still. Lonnie Anderson is 79. She was like a hot in the late 70s.
Yeah, I think I remember liking her quite a bit growing up.
Married to Burt Reynolds. James Gunn, filmmaker James Gunn, is 57.
Did he get in trouble?
What did he do?
He was married to Jenna Fisher for a time.
Oh, that's how I know him.
He does superhero stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy, all that.
Maureen McCormick is 68. That is Marsha Brady. Actor Scott Winters is 58. you may know him as Dean's brother from Oz.
He's Mayhem's brother, yeah?
I don't know. What's Mayhem?
What was his name again?
Scott Winters. So Dean Winters. Isn't Dean Winters?
He's Mayhem from all the insurance commercials.
Dan doesn't watch commercials.
Oh,
you have
that's
to have
his
at least
name.
seen
I
that
know
one.
who he is, yeah.
That one's been running for a long time.
No, he's on. Yes, I'm well aware of him. Both of them were on
Oz. Yeah, I remember.
On Oz, and I believe the Bob and Dan show at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And Reed Hoffman is 57. He is the founder of LinkedIn.
I think he just gave like a
Should
ton
we
of
sign up
money
for
to
LinkedIn?
Kamala. No.
We're in business.
No, we shouldn't. No, we shouldn't.
All right.
No, in fact,
I'll bet Rob's on LinkedIn.
Of course he is. Yeah, I enjoy LinkedIn through my wife and through people who post about it on other social media platforms, kind of like I do with TikTok, right? I don't want to sign up, look at TikTok. The good stuff will make it to me, but sometime in like the last year, people like LinkedIn changed in the same way that Facebook once underwent this. Like people will post their political beliefs, they will hit on each other on a site that's supposed to be for
business contacts.
Yeah.
Born on this day, now dead, Joseph Merrick. He was the disfigured Englishman who became famous as the Elephant Man. Do you feel like that was a PC culture?
No, I don't.
Look at this mongoloid, or let's call him the Elephant Man. Okay, yes, and as a nation, we will agree that this guy is so ugly. He died at the age of 27.
And all I can think about when I think of the Elephant Man is, when everybody got really mad at Bradley Cooper when he was playing that like composer, and he made himself have like a really long nose because he was Jewish. Like he did a lot of prosthetics on his face, but then everyone was like, yeah, okay, he's doing that for this, but when he played the Elephant Man, he just stood there and made funny faces. Like when he actually played a guy who's disfigured, he's just like
born on this day, now dead, Neil Armstrong. You familiar with Neil Armstrong?
Yeah, walked on the moon.
Unimpressed, though, huh? And Herb Brooks, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey coach. Do you think he'd be on board with kneeling?
Probably not.
Dead on this day, still dead. Marilyn Monroe. Paul Brown.
Dan.
He invented football. And Alec Guinness, who was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Who's that, Blake?
Star Trek.
That's right.
You're the best. Have you ever seen any of the Star Wars movies?
Was today in history.
I hadn't until I met him. No, you know what? I take that back. I'd seen one of them on a give-up day at the end of a semester in like 8th grade.
I feel like Star Wars is a kid's movie that, little boys would love. So maybe 7, 8 years old, you let Brooks watch Star Wars.
Because of the metal bikini scene?
No, that's in 2 anyway, the second one. I just feel like it's a kid's movie. It came out when I was a kid, about that age, and I was stoked on it.
See, you say that, but I feel like a lot of people who are really into it when they're old, it's like thematically, it is a story of politics and empire and colonization
I just thought it was
and
cool.
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, that's fine too. Dumbass.
Yeah.
I can't appreciate something on a deeper level. How's the diarrhea?
Actually, the little pill that Rob gave me, he red-pilled me this morning, and we're all good. And, I think everything's great. So stop bringing it up.
So we'll be back tomorrow with our training camp coverage, which will feature the story of the day, which we didn't get to talk about, which is Robert Kennedy Jr. hiding a dead bear carcass in Central Park 10 years ago.
Okay. And we'll be at Cowboy Camp.
We will be at Cowboy Camp.
All right.
We gotta go before this becomes a zoo.
Adios, mofo.
Now it's Dan, Jake,
Nate Blake, video man, driving in an RV named the USS. Party balls from South Lake to Oxnard to go to Dallas Cowboys training camp. The Dumb Zone crew taking it to the next level. Stopping Albuquerque, Flagstaff, and King. Matt Dallas driving Blake, playing video games. Dan wishing he flew. Jake happy he is flying home. Video man recording it all. Starting driving up Tweet 87 to Amarillo. The big Texan 72-ounce steak. Let's go, Jake. On to Albuquerque to see Walter White. Let's go to his house in the car wash. On the Flagstaff and Sedona. Don't forget Winona. Dumb Zone standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Route 66 along the way before we get to Kingman. But let's see some cool stuff. Painted Desert, Petrified National Forest, Sedona, Arizona's there in Williams too. In the Mojave Desert, should've stayed in Flagstaff. Let's keep partying, Blake still on the NCAA. Haven't heard a word from him. Cruising into Oxnard, let's go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? When we get there, let's go surfing, burritos, Spencer's, and maybe a little ludicrous. Let's go Dumb Zone Nation, support your boys. We need some Dumb Zone subbies so the shows can go on forever. Starting driving up Tweet 87 to Amarillo. The big Texan 72-ounce steak. Let's go, Jake. On to Albuquerque to see Walter White. Let's go to his house in the car wash. On the Flagstaff in Sedona. Don't forget Winona. Dumb Zone standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Route 66 along the way before we get to Kingman. Let's see some cool stuff. Painted Desert, Petrified National Forest, Sedona, Arizona. It's there in Williams too. Then the Mojave Desert, should've stayed at Flagstaff. But let's keep partying, Blake still on the NCAA. Haven't heard a word from him. Cruising into Oxnard, let's go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? When we get there, let's go surfing, burritos at Spencer's, and maybe a little ludicrous. Let's go Dumb Zone Nation, support your boys. We need some Dumb Zone subbies so the shows can go on forever.